feeling haunted.
I hear the voices inside my head, see voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog, we fighting above the law.
Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
Over there, please. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi, Eve. Hi, Just Breathe. If I'm not mistaken, we got a member. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me grab my headphones. Welcome to the Crazy Train, Diane. We'll be doing a member live tomorrow. I see you, brother. I'm gonna add you right now. I ain't turning my camera on tonight. Fuck that.
How you doing?
I'm doing. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Hi,
Absolutely.
Hoot 3, DC Prime, Strong Girly. We invited the Kotton Kandy, so hopefully she'll join when she can.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of today and some of last night getting kind of caught up on the to-dos in terms of the legitimate news outlets. And this thing is kind of all over the place.
Right? People are
Yeah.
saying it's the Wells 5.0. Well, they're saying 2.0. I'm saying 5.0.
I would have to agree. There are a lot of commonalities that are just like, whoa. You just can't really make sense of it all.
No, and I
No.
think that's on purpose, right? We're not supposed to. They don't want us to.
Well, you know, there was pretty
Whoever they
early
are.
on. Yeah, exactly. Pretty early on, some finger pointing going on, you know, from dad to mom, and then the three sort of key things that he has an issue with in terms of her parenting. But I'll let you do your pre-show things.
No, we're good. I'll say hi to people. I don't really know what I'm gonna pull up first. I think the one that you sent me, I'm gonna pull up first just because you sent me it and I realized I had it thumbs up. But listening to it again, I was like, whoa, what? And I rewound it like 3 times with Mark in the truck. And I did not hear the first incident that happened with having the pedophile around that did prison time or whatnot. I didn't hear that before you sent me it.
Yeah, there seems to be 2 instances of having some sort of predator around, and it's 2 different people. It's, you got someone that already did 9 years or whatever, and then you've got a kid that was under the age of prosecution in California. So there's, you know, not that mom really has a lot to do maybe with the child per se, but maybe she does. But certainly having an adult around that's already, you know, on that registry and spent 9 years behind bars for that seems to be pretty problematic.
Yeah, like how do you keep having these type of people in your house around your children is crazy. Like who
Yeah.
you hanging with that this has happened twice. I'm gonna go unpopular route and say I wish the essay things were not put out there right now because in my opinion it's a distraction. Well, I don't know, I guess, if it's a distraction. Unless it has to do, I guess I have to ask maybe Chris Proudfoot or Seth, I don't know. Same thing I'd ask Dawn. Is your daughter missing because of, you know, your essay pass? Like, and if it has something to do with it, okay, then let's talk about it. But if not,
Yeah.
that's got to be, and I know people don't like it, and they give me shit all the time saying, you're a survivor, you're a survivor. As a survivor, I'm saying I wish it was on the back burner until these children were found. Not that it doesn't matter.
You know, I think in terms of, you know, like the entertainment outlets like YouTube and things of that nature, that it's always salacious and it wants to be put in the front. And I think that that's really something that law enforcement, you know, should really, and they are, I'm sure, put into the forefront. But that's not really anything that I think that we need to focus on necessarily. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many other things to talk about in this situation that you could get bogged down in talking about that, and it could just become the focal point, you know.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that again. That destroyed Summer's case, in my
Hey,
opinion,
case Kate, I agree.
and I don't
There
want to
was
do that again.
sort of that great culture in Summer's case that sort of cultivated itself, and it was it's still here, you know,
Mm.
for in my opinion. So
Well, and what they're saying now is all of a sudden people are coming out saying Chris allegedly did stuff to his cousin and his stepsister. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so here we go again. So, unless this has something to do with why Sebastian is missing, I just wish it wasn't out there right now. Because now we even got, I love Nancy Grace, but even she's going with that spin. And for me, it's a distraction. Let's find Sebastian first and then figure that out.
sure, you
Same
know,
with Summer.
absolutely. And I watched something with Dad, and Dad really, in my opinion, he brought the essay stuff to the front and
Yeah, but
talked
he
about.
waited a little bit on that, right? Like, I think he waited at
Yeah,
least a month to bring that up. So I can tell he's a little bit angry, and he did wait for the finger pointing. But again, I wish he didn't say that. That was my first, like, oh, with him. I loved him. I still support him. I'm glad he's out there doing everything I wish Don Wells would
absolutely,
be doing. But at the
absolutely,
same time, Nancy Grace had him in for a poly. So he is a suspect until he's cleared, and the right, or why is he doing a poly? So I think it's fair where I this is my channel, not saying Benny is up here with me right now. That doesn't mean he agrees with what I'm saying up here, people, or just because someone's a mod for me doesn't mean that they agree with what I'm saying. But there's just, so I didn't like that. That was the first thing that rubbed me wrong
yeah.
about that. And then I hear he fell asleep for his poly.
Yeah, I didn't really like the fact that Dad was so vocal about it on the court TV. There was, I think, 118,000 views on that, and
Shit.
you have to know that there was probably a pretty high percentage of people that actually didn't know Sebastian was a survivor, and that now everyone from that locale, that school, teachers, counselors, everyone's watching, and now everyone has in my opinion, they have a loaded bias. That, and he's saying, at the very least, mom is negligent. That very well may be the case. However, that definitely is loading a jury pool if this should go to that length.
Mhm. Let me be clear, people in the chat, because I already know people are going to take this and run with it. My number one suspect, though mom, just like Candace, was alone with her child, she's not even my number one suspect. It's Chris Proudfoot, okay? I'll be very clear about that. But I'm not going to lie and say that certain things, even though he's doing everything right, there are certain things that make me feel that I question it.
Sure.
And that's what it is.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is very important to focus on is the court. Pardon me, the corporal punishment. Dad really, in my opinion, I know he's got to be just absolutely toast in terms of emotions and physical energy,
Mm-hmm.
but he really seemed, in my opinion, when he brought up the corporal punishment thing about stepdad and stepson, it sort of lacked the kind of emotion you might expect. Like, if I find out stepdad is corporally punishing my children or my child with a belt, there would probably be a little more verbiage out of me about that. But
Oh,
that's
I'm
just me.
catching a charge if that shit happens, right?
Yeah,
So let's
absolutely,
be real.
absolutely.
Um,
Oh, and another thing I wanted to add is I did in the private discussion area in the back there.
oh yeah, let me
I
check that.
put there was a few videos to look at, but it's what I found to be more the social normative in terms of the ways in pediatrics they would want you to punish or correct ill behavior of autistic children. It's about 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. I
Okay,
think
I'm
it's
not seeing it. Can you put that link in again?
sure. I
Or
think it,
text it to me even?
yeah. I think it's very important that people get a baseline on what's normative for.
We lost them. DC, you're on it. Hi, Chicken Lady. He'll be back. Hi, Selena. I can see you now. I can reply to you too. Yay. I see you, brother.
And I'm back.
And you're back. Okay, let me see here. Let me pull up this link. Because you said something well, privately in texting, but I was like, yeah, because you were like, I don't want to just listen to YouTubers on this. I want to watch, the news, the camera footages, all that.
The ones that could be held liable for what they say or print, there's going to be a lot more restraint, I feel, than, sort of a Dolly Vision. And I'm not cutting on Dolly Vision, but, everyone knows that scenario. So it's a laxer environment, correct?
I
Yeah,
don't think he knew when he went on like Dolly who he was or what his brother's done or whatever. I think he's getting out there,
sure. And, I'm
like the Wells did, but he's also
right.
out there searching and hasn't been back to work. He's been out
Absolutely.
there searching.
And I'm not going to take that away from Dolly. I haven't been watching any of it. I just know that
Or
he
no,
was
not Dolly.
there.
Sorry, Seth. Dolly ain't been out there searching for Sebastian.
No, but there again, I don't want to take anything away from anyone that is trying to bring awareness and keep the boys' picture active and generating. So,
Right.
I mean, Mr. Proudfoot can go wherever he wants, and I think that at certain points in the initial phases of these things, there just isn't time for them to do a YouTube background check on Jimmy and all of that. He's just trying to keep the
Right.
picture and hope alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't blame him for that. And again, you guys, I'm allowed to say what
Thank you, Miss
rubs
Dana.
me wrong, but at the
Absolutely.
same time, again, Chris Proudfoot is my number one suspect, along with his mother, father, and sisters. Okay. Katie clearly's got some involvement to what I don't know. Maybe the same extent the Bly has. I don't know. I mean, nothing can be proven yet. But I mean, she was home alone with him, right? So, what? Let me pull this up because we know he was being spanked. And Chris Proudfoot
Correct.
made this weird comment that I automatically just thought complete opposite because he made it so much a point to throw in it was only one time. All right, I'm going with 100, right? And
Yeah.
then he made it a point to say always with his pants up though. So right away I knew, all right, pants down, spanking a teenager. What the hell?
Yeah, and you and I spoke about that. In my experience, I always felt like anytime that I was corrected with a belt and my pants were down, I felt like it was just to add to the embarrassment of it because
Hmm.
it's still a terrifying experience to be corrected with a belt, no matter which way it is. So,
Did
with
you learn anything from having that happen to you, or did you still do the same things and get the belt again? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you learn anything from having that? Was that a
uh,
good punishment, do you think? Did you learn from it?
I tell you what it did is it was happening to me and my younger brother. It was happening at an uncle's and an aunt's house, and they had never spoken with my mother about the way they would correct us. And they were very Christian people. It was don't spare the rod sort of thing, and it wasn't ever there was never a verbal spoken agreement that we weren't going to tell anyone. It was just you were so terrified that you just did not speak on it. So I think it probably did correct behaviors. However, what it did do is it went on further into the compartmentalization of the activity itself. Like you just
Yeah.
weren't going to tell. Like my mom, she didn't know we were lashed with a belt until 4 or 5 years ago. I
Holy.
Yeah. So it was something that we kept, and again, because it was happening and it was happening to cousins, and we saw that too. It was like, well, this is just normal. So there was no need to run to mom and say, hey, they're spanking us with a belt. Just felt like
Mm,
that's the way it is. But then on the other
mm,
hand, on the other side of the family, we had an aunt and uncle that used to have an old breadboard, that you would pull bread out of the oven with, and it said "Hello Sunshine" on it. It would hang by the telephone, and we used to get that. So it was the lesser of the evils, in my opinion, because the paddle hurt a lot more on the hands than the belt.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, we used to have this. Well, we used to get beat with this kind of like a breadboard, like this big wooden paddle
Yeah.
thing,
Hmm.
and there was some kind of something about God on it, some Bible thing. Dan and
That made
Charles.
it righteous, right?
That made it somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, I didn't learn shit from being whooped. I'll be honest. I continued the same behaviors. I don't even remember why I got whooped half the time. I
Me either.
don't, but I mean, I was in the system and I was always told I wasn't allowed to be spanked. And when I went to that house, yeah, I probably put my elbows on the table when we were eating and got
Hmm.
fucking black eye for it. But anyway, I was told I'm not, foster families aren't allowed to put their hands on you and blah, blah, blah. So I went into this home, started jumping on their couch saying, you can't spank me. You
Right.
can't spank me. And they're like, you want to make a bet?
Right. They're really going to learn you, right?
Like I learned with that, I'll say, but that was, that was just ridiculous. I knew what I was doing with that, but everything else, no, I don't
I mean,
know
here in
why I got the
Texas,
belt before.
I mean, either. I have no idea. Now, I can remember why I would get corporal. I had corporal punishment at school 2 or 3 times,
Mm,
and you were sent to the principal, and you were paddled, and that was in the late '80s, early '90s.
damn.
So yeah, Texas was a real raw place to be a kid in school.
Yes, Megs is going cosmic bowling. Yep. Megs is the one who got us this beautiful microphone. We love her.
It sounds good.
Thank you.
It
Yeah,
sounds
no
really good.
crackling this time. It's rainbow and shit.
Oh
Party.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we're moving on up in here,
Hmm.
Hi, everyone in chat. I'm not ignoring you, but let me pull this clip up. Have you watched the Nina? I did, and we are going to go over that. But I believe everything she's saying. But Andy, should I got paddled in school? Listen, I was born in
Yeah, there you go,
'83.
Andy. Yeah.
I did not get paddled in school. I don't remember that at all. But also half the time I wasn't in school, right? Because my parents were doing weird shit and hopping
The ideal in
provinces.
school wasn't to hurt you, right? It was to correct the behavior and then be able
Correct
to
you.
send you back to class and you'd still be able to sit down, right?
Interesting you say correct your behavior because it's exactly how Chris Proudfoot speaks.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's weird to me because I don't know what he's saying as well. His problems stem from school. Well, that's not really what we're hearing from the teachers. Like, teachers are saying he was great. They loved being around him, right? Y'all heard that? I mean, just recently they came out with whatever and posted pictures with him and his teachers.
He
Now,
looked like a very happy boy. I can say that,
yeah, he
right?
did,
He
at least
looked
when he was at
happy.
school. Yep.
Absolutely. It seemed to be his safe haven, and
Mm-hmm.
understanding that the school and the rehabilitative aspects of what could be available to a child on the spectrum there, that would have, those people spend more constructive, positive time with him than his own family, right? You may get off the bus at 3 or 4 or whenever he gets home, and then by 9 or 10 he's in the bed, and they're not hawking him like they do at school in terms of watching him and eyes on him. And so I do believe that the school was a great haven for him. However, you have dad saying that he was SA'd at 7 or 8, so he's lived 50% of
Mm-hmm.
his life after an SA and with no counseling available to him. So
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go into corporal punishment and then all of the aspects of
Right.
stepdad, right?
Yeah, all that, like, thinking. Okay, you guys have your keychains and stuff? Okay, be safe. Love you.
No foolery, no boys.
Right? I mean, they're in their 20s, and I'm still like, you got something to poke someone with?
Yeah.
Can't have guns in Canada. Yeah, I wouldn't, yeah, as a victim, yeah, being spanked was not cool. So, Sebastian, like, that's terrible. I honestly wish that none of us knew this right now. Um,
It definitely convolutes things, I think, right? It definitely starts to lean. I mean, it could be a very, it could have happened in a way that was organic to the parents, the stepmom and stepdad, right? Like they very well could have had no, it could have been unbeknownst to them, right? And now dad has his opinions and he's sort of, he's skewing the waters, he's convoluting things, muddying the waters potentially. And making mom look really bad. I mean, I don't know all the dynamics of the SA. Now, understanding that it was the child that was under 13 in California that did the SA, it was not the SA offender who had already done 9 years. That person only allegedly just spent time around Sebastian.
hmm
Yeah.
And so before that happened, they allowed a person from prison to be around him, or which I don't know which one happened
It
first, and either should have happened, but I'm just which one
no.
happened first.
In the timeline to me, and it's a little bit muddy for me, but it
Yeah.
seems like the SA may have happened to him from the classmate, and then which actually wouldn't have necessarily been a classmate because he didn't go into anything about the perpetrator or the child offender. He just went into the fact that the law would not give him any names. And that it was under 13. So you don't really have a really good guide on if this was a relative classmate in the same age range or if it was an older child that may have sort of preyed on him.
Mm,
But the time spent with the sex offender after is how I understand it was
that's
after
weird.
the offense.
After the offense. Okay, again,
Yeah.
weird because you have two. I don't care how many years or months or whatever in between these happening. How the hell do you have two sex offenders around your son?
Well, and
Like, that's crazy.
that is crazy. Also understanding that a portion of that, if it were monitored and it was denounced to the parents, that you have a dad that's in corrections and a stepdad in corrections who really failed Sebastian in being able to keep yet another offender away from him.
Uh, Pfizer, I don't even know how to say your name, but where can I hear that he has ran away? Because I've been hearing complete opposite. I've heard Sebastian's not a runner and he's never ran away. And my thing, and jump in anytime, Benny, of course, but
Yeah,
I have ran away from people,
sure.
and if I'm gonna run away, it's gonna be after you fucking embarrass me and pull my pants down and whoop me and you aren't my dad. Like, that's when I'm packing my shit. I am wearing shoes and I have packed bags and leave. This kid left his cell phone, which again, I would love to know from the Proudfoots and or Seth, how available was this cell phone to Sebastian? Could he just call his dad or get a call from his dad at any point in the day? Like
Right.
with my kids and my situation with my ex, I'm to always have an open line at all times with them.
Absolutely.
And I want to know what the phone situation was.
Well, it's a little bit murky for me because one of the parallels to the Wells case is that they're alleging that all of his shoes are accounted for,
Yeah, but a
and
flashlight missing, but all
and
the
a
shoes are there.
flashlight, right? So he's taking the forethought to be able to see good, but not protect his feet. So when you think about the aspect of now, when you look at the Wells case, it's a much more rugged terrain. So you're like, okay, she maybe probably didn't get far and fast with no shoes on. However, He lived in a more developed subdivision, so you're looking at pavement or concrete, soft grass. Um, may not have been a real go-to for him to grab shoes. However, with the no shoes, you would certainly think as the layman that you would get a much stronger scent for the dogs to follow with no shoes,
Mm.
right? That's my opinion. I mean, you're still going to get sent without shoes. I mean, with shoes rather, because it's sort of a dropping of the skin cells, broken grass, the flora, disturbed dirt, and things of that nature. But um, I always sort of go back to what you know about autistic kids when they are unaccounted for. And of course, the first thing you're going to do is look at cameras. I understand there could be or not be potentially an issue with the cameras. But then
Mm-hmm.
the waterways, right? Autistic
Mm-hmm.
children are notoriously attracted to water.
Right.
You find a number of them, unfortunately, succumb to the going out into the water and sort of losing control of that situation.
So unless he got really far, to my understanding, they have, and we'll do some study sessions and all, but that they've drained the nearby water sources and have, I saw people in there after they were drained, trudging their feet along the mud and everything. Now I'm not sure how thoroughly, I don't know. And again, I keep remembering because I was around Jacob Wetterling. I worked with his cousins. I don't know if you guys remember that
Hmm.
case, but it took 27 years for that
Wow.
son of a bitch who was actually in my kids' backyard, people. We had a cabin right around this motherfucker. 27 years. Why? Because he had a police scanner and knew what was going on
Could just
and
stay ahead of them.
knew and yep and could stay ahead. So now you think, okay, that's what someone can do with a police scanner who doesn't even have the connections, nor did he have the money that these people have.
Yeah.
We've got military backgrounds all around. We've got corrections officers. We've got people that are friendly with the sheriffs and everything, and not even calling 911. Bro, he called his sheriff buddy's line, not 911. He wasn't even the one home when the boy went missing, allegedly.
So you've got a call out from mom who was there. She calls out to stepdad,
She
and then
calls
stepdad
stepdad.
makes the contact with the police,
Stepdad
with the
has
sheriff.
keeps her on the phone, makes a three-way call, and stepdad calls his sheriff friend's direct number.
Hmm.
So I would like to know, someone brought up, and it's a good question because I really don't know. Is that a recorded call?
Mm, there you go.
I'm not
Now,
sure. I don't
w-
know.
one of the notes that I put in the back discussion was, and it's at 7:50 or right around 8 minutes of what I initially had sent to you, and I feel like dad, and again, you have to preface these things in the early stages. I feel like you have to preface it by saying, he's emotionally toast. He is
Mm,
just not all the way there
let's
emotionally. He's exhausted, but he makes a commentary about what the boy will need when he's returned.
okay,
And
hold on. I think it's this one.
now, granted, I think that it's great to have wishful thinking. However, when you've got the world's eyes on you like this, I think that you have to be very careful about what you say. And the first thing I
Yeah.
said to a friend that I was watching it with, I was like, "Whoa, where's Tim Mullins when you need him?"
I said
Right?
the same thing. I was like, is Mullen involved in this at all? People laughed, but I'm actually serious.
Yeah,
uh,
no, I think that there would be a level of restraint sort of associated with something at this point. And I think that dad just needs to be very careful. That's one thing I would tell him. Now
hmm
he has an expertise, if you will, in this that I will hopefully never will have. You'd have to lose a
hmm
child in order to be proficient in what he's learning day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour. But there's just some things you got to just leave alone. You just can't spill the beans on so much to the public like this.
Yeah, it's because now that he's done that, I've got questions. And I don't even
Right.
want to ask these questions because, again, it's a distraction and all back burner shit. But since he said these things, okay, both of these things have happened. Why, in the past 7, 8 years since these things happening, is this child not in your custody already?
Right. You've got corporal punishment with a belt. You
Yeah.
have SA in mom's custody. You've got now he did say in this same video that there were three issues he had with mom. One was the SA, one was the SA offender, and then there sounded like there was some sort of running off before.
Right. I'm going to pull that up right now. I think this is it.
Yep, this is it.
Let me unmute.
Sebastian Rogers. The
It was right
15-year-old
around
disappeared in the middle
7:40
of the night on February 25th. His mother was the last person to see him. And
You want me to just play this all the way through, or do you just want
Sure.
me to go timestamps? Yeah, I
No,
think it might be
there's a
all
lot of good
important.
information in this.
Okay, let's do that. Let me put the captions on for some people. I like it sometimes.
says that he left the house without any shoes on and just a flashlight. So where
Just
is
a
he?
flashlight, no shoes.
Searchers continue
I
looking.
want to remind people, like, I have to look up, and I want to bring up that punishment link too after this, but I want to look
Absolutely.
up what is high functioning autism, because here's my thing, like, he grabbed a flashlight, but he didn't put no shoes on.
It starts to make you wonder, like, where were the shoes? Where were the flashlight?
Yeah.
Now I understand. I had asked you, and whether or not we actually know the truth. The thing is, the house is rigged with cameras, right? Um,
Yeah. No, no, no. Like, believe you me, Chris Proudfoot is, I'm not going to say the name because I'm not a Jody Sue, but, like, me and my daughters share a real fucking monster. And you guys, like, I don't name him and I don't sit here daily poking the bear. Okay. My kids are here in Canada for that reason. But,
correct.
like, no, Chris Proudfoot. I don't even know what I was saying now. I just got
So,
so pissed. But
I mean,
oh,
I mean, I can understand the sort of Powerball odds that might come about that child goes missing, and you have some sort of an issue with the camera, right? But to
oh
have
yeah, that's what I was
right,
saying. That house is cameras
right. So
rigged.
you've got an issue with the camera and with the automatic or what is to be said a electric lock, right? So you've got two sort of
Yes.
some sort of malfunctions or dysfunctions in tech that can be controlled from the phone, right? These things you can, a lot of these locks, you don't even have to give your kid a key. They can just knock on the door, or you can see them coming on the Ring camera, and you can unlock the door for them. So you've got what could be potentially two electronic failures of tech in a row, sort of simultaneously, if you will.
Yeah. And, well, he's saying there's no camera. He told Nancy Grace, but he lied up and down with Nancy Grace. That's weird. But he said there was no cameras. But now people brought up, have I watched Nina, his ex-wife? Yes, I have. Yes, I believe everything she's saying, and I feel terrible for her. But at the same time, for me, the waters get even muddier when we're bringing in exes, because there's so many sides to when exes are telling, their past stuff. So I don't, I believe her, but I don't want to focus on that right now. But what is important to me of what she said is when Chris texted Katie and said 911, Sebastian is missing. Her response to him was, well, did you check your cameras? So, and she is the ex-wife. She knows how this dude works and operates very well, right? We all heard her. And so for her to have that as a first response and then hear him tell Nancy Grace, no, they had no cameras, I don't believe him. I can't prove it, but I don't believe him. People are, my opinion isn't popular, but Seth isn't getting Father of the Year. You know what? I wouldn't get Mother of the Year, okay? But
I was saying I was muted.
Oh,
I muted myself. We have a stepdad corrections officer who appears to mostly be in favor with the inmates, right?
Dad, I
Oh,
believe.
dad. Okay, dad.
Are you hearing an echo?
I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, is it you or me though?
I don't hear it on you. Let me just refresh real quick.
Okay. Only when I talk? Okay. Oh, wait, now it's gone, right? Hold up.
Yeah, it probably was me.
Oh, yeah, because now you sound better too. You sounded like you were underwater before.
Okay,
Benny
sorry
was
about
too
that.
quiet. Okay, yeah, he sounds better now. And I
Thank you.
don't sound echoey. I am a bit echoey. All right. Even I don't love my voice that much to want to hear it a second time. All right, let's hear
For
what he
Sebastian,
says.
and this morning we have a very special guest joining us on the program, Sebastian Rogers' biological father, Seth Rogers. Seth, good morning to you. And might I just start by both saying thank you and just that my heart and the hearts of all of our wonderful viewers really go out to you. The agony that you're going through, I can't even imagine. I've seen you do some interviews, and I've been so amazed at how resilient you are. And you've talked about how nothing is going to.
Dude, there's one thing about Seth. He is stone cold. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
even. It's like, damn.
And again, I load that with the preface that the guy is just absolutely has to be emotionally spent.
Yeah. Biofather's the correction officer, allegedly. Well, he
Biofather,
was.
okay.
Because let me say, people have said it in the chat, and you're right. I heard it on, I don't remember the news source, but I did hear it last night that he was actually at work till 7 a.m. And Katie, the mom, went in at 6 a.m. that day, and Sebastian was already gone. So, hi, Cursed. Hi, everyone. Welcome. So, yeah, I mean, again, now. Alibis can get tricky even when you're on camera. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could have help. There's just a lot
Yeah.
of things that could happen.
I don't love that he's a correction officer and that he's a liked one with the inmates from what I hear. Now, that's all alleged. And again, this is just my opinion. I don't love that because I personally, I've dealt with, I just know how that world works, okay? So that's why I don't love that.
A lot of
And
times, a correction officer that's in favor is doing favors.
could be. It
Yeah,
really could.
a
It
lot of
could be.
times, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like for me, it's the exact same as Summer Wells until like the law is putting out facts for us to see and doing their job, right? Because I'm not a detective. I'm just a human on YouTube. That's it. I got no credentials and I am no professional. Just my thoughts and opinions and
Yeah,
feelings, right? So, but I don't love that. I know too much about all different from different countries to different states and all of that, jails, prisons. I just know too much, so I don't love that, you know. But he is the only one out there doing all of the things I wish I saw from the Wells.
yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't know, but for me, everything and everyone is on the table until the law tells us all otherwise. And apparently Seth will be on Nancy Grace coming up this week with his polygraph outcome.
Oh, okay.
So that will be interesting. Because one thing where everyone, you know, and I even argue with myself, the voices, right? So yeah, he was falling asleep. He's out there, he's searching. We know that he's on medications and all of that, but at the same time I do trust Nancy Grace because she's got credentials. She's Nancy Grace. I don't think, and she is very fucking hard on men in general, but
Sure.
all suspects until they're cleared. She says it exactly how she feels it, right?
I
People
mean,
love
going
her
back
or
to the
hate her.
stats that, some
She would
years,
know, right? Though, don't you
she
think?
would,
Like
she,
to either give him the lie detector if he wasn't or shouldn't have. Like, did he get drug tested first? Are they gonna poly him if he shouldn't have been? You
and
know what I
that's a
mean?
good question. There's a lot of aspects that we shouldn't know as the general public because there are a lot of things that just need to be sequestered informationally from the public that could pollute it if it goes the criminal route.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
There has to be information that's sequestered, and that's one of the issues that a lot of these folks run into. It was a lot more stringent in years past. They would say, "Hey, how much of this have you watched on TV, or how much of this have you seen in the papers?" Now
Mm-hmm.
there's a much more lenient and lax limit to what you could have been exposed to and still be accepted as a juror.
Yeah, and with the members tomorrow, I'm actually going over. I've been, because as soon as I heard him falling asleep, well, there's other inmates I've talked to who have fallen asleep for polys, and it was never a good outcome, to be honest.
Well,
And
inmates, I think that that's one thing. However, I've had one, two. They are
mhm,
high stress situations, and there's sort of a baseline of what they know is just nerves from being hooked to the machine, and
mhm,
then they know what is above and beyond that. So you start to ask yourself what could contribute to a falling asleep during that stressful time, other than just being emotionally exhausted.
mhm.
Is it chemical? What is it?
Well, and being out there, he's hurt. I mean, he's no spring chicken like half of us here. And he's out there searching, right? And he's already got like fucked up knees and shoulders from what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
So all that could be a factor.
sure.
He's wore out. But I did hear also that he was maybe put on something for, kind of like the Candace was definitely put on shit to calm you down. Like, people are gonna have to tranquilize me if one of my kids goes missing. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I can't even imagine, and I don't ever want to be in that position. Okay, so I'm not hating on that, but a good polygraph person is either gonna ask that person to hold off on their meds till after. Some people are saying he did muscle relaxers. You guys saw me when I fucked up my back months ago. I couldn't even get through an hour show with poor Mary on Bacloflun.
Mm,
So if he took muscle relaxers to calm him, look, dude's not a little guy, so the dosage would be iffy, and would he know what dosage? My point is, and is he always on muscle relax? Like, I don't know, like, his tolerance or whatever. But here's the thing: would you do that? And like, how's he getting home? Because like, I'm knocked the fuck out.
right.
So, and I don't think he would do that. Again, I have faith in Nancy Grace and the polygraph people that she set up for this. Is going to be the top of the top of professional and not poly someone who shouldn't be polyed. So I'm interested in seeing the results with the rest of everybody.
But also at the same time understanding that it's not admissible. It's just
It's not admissible.
right,
And that's what I
just to
want to bring
direct
up.
the investigation. Right? They're like, well, this guy, he passed, which would mean that you're put into a different basket. You're a not right now focus. You're a maybe we'll look at you again down the road once we extinguish other leads or suspects. But if you were found to be deceitful, it doesn't go any further in the court. It doesn't make you guilty. It just makes you deceitful. But that'll never be brought up.
Hmm. Says you can't argue. Stupid. You don't got it. Just knock him right out of here. Thank you. Casey. He was on
That's an
meds
interesting
on
point.
lives, did not fall asleep. That is interesting.
Hmm.
Now, is he
Thank
out
you for that.
searching the times before he's doing these interviews on lives? Maybe not. Was he out searching before doing the pot? Like, I don't know.
Is he
I
on
don't
leave from
know.
work? I would hope. I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And his Cash App is in the description every time I do a live on Sebastian. His Seth's Cash App, because yes, he did go out of work and he has been keeping the searching going. He's out there. We've
Friggin'.
seen it. So I share his Cash App in my description. The mods can feel free to also throw it in the chat. Because
Yeah, resources to keep that going for him is a beautiful thing.
yeah. Yeah. So he is out of work. Now, I'm not sure if you know, but mom and stepdad took off to Mississippi and have been parked up at a campground. So there's some kind of protest allegedly happening, like I think either today or tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, at that campground.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So
one of the things that what do they say? Routine changes after an event are always they're interesting to have a look at, right? Changes in routine, behavior, appearance, location, all of those things could mean something at some point.
sis, there's there's that.
Yeah.
And we're allowed to say what's odd about it. I mean, that's
Sure.
so some of these people gotta chill out. Thank you, single mom. Hi, Miss Chewy. Happy hippie. They've been there for weeks now. Yeah, so they did. Yeah, they just took off now. Seth has been out searching, much like Dawn and Candace never searched. Katie and Chris allegedly. I mean, I haven't seen them or heard of them out searching. Instead, they took off. And are you familiar with the Brian Laundrie case?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so this case also mimics the Brian Laundrie case because Chris Proudfoot's mom and dad, if you listen to the ex-wife, as well as the sisters, sorry, his mom and stepdad, who has some kind of colorful past himself, Chris Proudfoot's stepdad. But anyways, they were over there at the house. They actually chased JLR down the road.
Oh, and
And
I bet he ran quick too.
no, he got out. He stopped, got out of the car, and confronted them actually. And stepdad got out of the car, and I don't know if he was like taking
He
pictures
must
of
not have had a
JLR.
log in his hand.
No, he didn't have a log. No, he's no Benny
Because his hands were
Keyswell.
shaking like a tree when I seen him.
Terrible. Oh, I'll never get old. That's never gonna get old.
No, it won't. You never saw a lick of that footage either. Couldn't stabilize it to save his life.
And everyone thought you were this crisis actor too. That
Oh,
shit
yeah.
was hilarious.
Yeah, it was something. They didn't go looking no pipe though, I tell you that. They left quick.
They left real quick. They
Yeah.
made sure to freaking live stream you first because they were so unsafe.
Yep. I said one toe. That's it.
Be the bean, damn that stick. Right? You
Yes,
gotta
absolutely,
laugh
Rebecca.
sometimes.
Are you
make
gonna
you give
cry?
up hope. Tell
Oh, they probably. They all went back and probably cried.
us, please, where's that drive coming from?
My son. He's my life. He's my heart. He's not here, and I'm not complete unless I have him. So it's the drive to be whole again.
You know,
That's
I
right.
applaud you for holding out hope, being so resilient, being positive.
That's right. Katie's job is in security cameras. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes. And yes. That is true. I forget about that. Yep. She sure is. That's her job. Yep.
Wow. Does anybody know to what degree or what is her sort of her function with cameras? Her functioning?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I do remember now that you say that, I do remember maybe a week or so ago questioning how good was she at this job and could she possibly interfere with any neighbor's ring door camera thingy-majigers. I don't know.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I've seen Seth on lives before and after he was on meds. In my opinion, there is a difference. These new meds, coupled with his ongoing exhaustion,
Installation.
shows
Okay.
in his most recent appearances. By the way, nice to see Benny here. Right, we miss Benny.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you for having me.
He
Brinks.
knows
Okay.
how to wipe.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay, so we got to dig into that. I don't know. All right. Well,
Thank
that's
you.
going to be a chore.
Fissler.
I'm just kidding. I'm not digging. I'm just following her with everyone else. That's how it was supposed to be, damn it. I was just going to watch and follow along with everyone. And then, I mean,
Interior communications specialist. Okay.
what does that mean? I'm going to have to really Google that because I don't know what that means. Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, I could speculate, but I'd hate to do so.
Okay, I'm going to have to Google that. I want to get through this video.
Hey, happy
Wait.
hippie.
What is it?
Interior communications specialist.
Okay. What is an interior communication specialist? These professionals typically work for large organizations that need to communicate messages and information to a variety of internal
Thank you, single mom.
stakeholders working across different departments or offices. All right, well, this
Or like
kind
intra stuff, you know?
Yeah, for large organizations. What do they do? Let's see. Well, they just answered that the same way. All right. Creating and implementing internal employee and recruiting communications content and contributing to programs that actively engage internal audiences on a global firm-wide basis. All right, I'm gonna like look into more of what this means because I'm not getting. I don't like these answers on Google right now.
Cotton candy.
If I'm going to take a poly for my missing son, I'm going to make damn sure I'm on it. Listen, I would be on a few Red Bulls. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. And I'm allowed to not like that. And it's okay to not like that. I'm not saying, again, I repeat, my top suspect isn't even the one that was home alone with him. It is Chris Proudfoot, along with his stepdaddy and mom and sisters, and then Katie, and then Seth.
I'm curious, is Proudfoot, are they Native American or?
You know, I
No.
was wondering
Okay.
because it's odd to me that they are. His ex-wife is Native, so Chris Proudfoot's daughter is part
okay.
Native American, and I think Native American, but Native, and
Indigenous.
yes, but they are also super racist towards Native people, so it's weird. Yeah,
Scottish. Okay.
I'm like, how are you gonna be called Proudfoot but be racist towards the natives is weird to me.
It's very strange.
You kind of have to wonder with a last name like that. Like, there's got to be some kind of line, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering. But yeah, from what I've learned, and this is listening to Nina and also some
Nina's
back.
Mexican.
She's Mexican and Native. She says she's Native, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go with what she said. Moulin Rouge, if you listen to her interview. And looking at her, you can tell. Yes, she is Mexican, but she's also very much Native. So, anyway, the Proudfoots are allegedly racist people,
Okay.
especially towards Native.
Not that that makes them guilty in any way.
Right.
shape,
No,
form, or
it
fashion.
doesn't.
Yeah.
No. It's just a unfun fact, I guess.
Yeah.
And who knows what can happen with this investigation? And any day could be the day Sebastian comes home. From your perspective,
no
Seth,
caffeine,
how
okay.
satisfied are you with the investigation being done by TBI?
My son's not here. They have no evidence. They haven't. Sumner County is the one that's like doing it. TBI is assisting.
So I know I keep pausing it. I'm sorry, but right there, I think he wasn't supposed to say that. He just said, and when was this recorded? Let me check really quick. 7 days ago. He just said they have no evidence.
Yeah. I don't know that I would speak on an evidentiary value. However, I've always been I've always been one to say that the feds are the ones that have all the real resources. So when you have Virginia and Kentucky sort of bordering the situation, if he has been abducted, it sucks to say it, but the best case scenario is that he may have went over state lines, and then that would make it a Fed case.
Right, so them taking off and staying in Mississippi and not in Tennessee, can the feds be more involved now? Or
I
does that
think
not matter?
It seems like that they would want to have a continuity in the investigation. So they may just be reaching out via telephone or Zoom or however they decide to do it. But if they decided they needed to, they could certainly invite the feds in. Now, what he's getting ready to say is that he wants TBI to take over. Unfortunately, there's jurisdiction where they can only do what they can do.
Right.
Yeah. I would want that for Seth as well. However, there's a protocol to the way that they approach the thing.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Ellie
It
isn't going
does.
to tell him anything. No, he's not. And the reason why is because everybody, until they can weed out, is a suspect.
Right. No, you hear the sheriff say no one's clear.
No one's clear yet. So for me, just like the wells, everything and everyone is on the table. And for this platform, that's supposed to be fair because true crime is supposed to be about looking at everything.
He can,
Everything,
Scarlett.
everyone.
He can say what he wants, and hopefully, in terms of the entertainment value on YouTube, everyone wants to know everything, whether it's speculative or not. But I think that one of the best case scenarios in a lot of these situations is that they bring a gag order, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing, because I haven't heard about gag orders in this case, but technically Sebastian is a minor.
Correct.
Now, again, this kind of gets murky. For me, does it matter right now? No, but it is interesting to have on the back burner. But Sebastian's stepsister, who is with the ex-wife, said to her mom that she saw her dad, aka stepdad to Sebastian, Chris Proudfoot, hit Sebastian in his face.
Oh, wow.
This child is, I think, 7 or 8 years old right now. So, again, these kinds of things get murky when we got exes and then children saying things. Is it important? Yeah, again, it's important to know that. But right now, I mean, we can't do anything with that information, right?
No, it's important to note it, and then also be sleuth enough to move forward past that and continue to absorb other details. Don't get hung up on anything.
Tragedy films are seeing this as a cash opportunity. Well, let them, because I also look at it as a opportunity to keep Sebastian's name out there, which is what people should want, and also being able to, because of all the comparisons to Summer Wells, it's a good way for me to help keep her name and picture going so people don't forget her as well.
Correct.
So people can call it whatever they want to call it. I don't give a fuck.
The important thing to remember is the stats, and that it,
Yeah.
depending on the year, anywhere from 80 to 90% of these scenarios are carried out by someone involved with the family, right? You have to be able to keep
Right.
that right there in the forefront.
Right. That's true. I don't love statistics, but
Correct.
that is a statistic that's pretty on point 9 times out of 10. It's not typically going to be a stranger anyway, but a lot of times, yeah, it's a parent. But if it's not the parent, it's someone that's known to the parents and the child.
Scarlet Feather, I understand you might feel that way, and that may be the case, but there is definitely a gag order in the Wells case, and that has not went any legal bounds yet. So, yeah,
Multiple. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that it's really it's based upon the need to compartmentalize information a lot of times.
Carl says he's sus by going on all these channels explaining how to help with getting him money. I actually haven't heard him ask for money. But again, I think it's fair. He's not going to work and he's out there searching for his son. Unfortunately, that takes funds. He can't do that for free. He's got to eat, he's got to sleep, and he's got to pay his bills somehow. Meanwhile, he's the only one out there looking for his son. So, my shit is monetized. Again, his Cash App is in the chat here and in the description. There's nothing wrong with him having, I think he's got a GoFundMe. If we can find that, we'll share that too. And yeah, he's got a Cash App. So the fuck what? Who doesn't have a Cash App?
Fizzler, I that is sort of one of the things that I've ventured into, but I visit it, but I won't reside there. Also, I have visited situations with water and maybe people feeling negligent. I think that there could be a number of things that have happened that we just don't know yet.
What is my theory? I don't want to say, but it heavily involves. Listen, I mean, well, fuck it. I have 2 theories. I don't know if maybe everybody's in on something, but my number 1 theory is Chris Proudfoot, and I don't like that they were on the phone for just over 3 hours, and he said something on Nancy Grace that I know peaked for me, and it had to for everyone. But he said from work to home is just over 3 hours from doorstep to doorstep. Okay, whoa.
Yeah.
And that's how long you were on the phone. The 10 o'clock hearing a thud and she doesn't check on her kid. I hear a thud upstairs with my 20-something-year-old children. I'm checking on them, or I'm hollering, or if I'm real lazy, I'm texting, everything good up there? Like,
Sure.
So now I'm thinking if one of my kids were on the spectrum and I sent them to bed an hour ago and I'm hearing a thud, who's not checking on that child? I don't know. That's weird to me. And also, listen, I got too many theories. I can't nail it down to one. But yeah, I do question, could he have gotten in the house without Katie knowing and keeping her on the phone? Like, I don't know. All kinds of things. Just like was Don Wells in the basement when Candace got home? Like, I don't know,
Mine
That's
too, Scarlett.
my top theory, though.
I just, man, I hate to say it, but I just feel like there could be some sort of negligence. Mr. Rogers seems to think he even pointed the finger and said that she is responsible, even if it's just in terms of being negligent. So, I don't know.
I forget about the water pocket on his brain. Says that's Sebastian has that.
I've asked TBI to take it over. They haven't yet. There's just things that I don't think have been done.
And I understand him being
What would you like
frustrated
to
with the
be
law, because
done,
we're all
Seth, that
frustrated
hasn't
with the
been?
law.
I have a list of stuff, but I don't know if they've done it or not. I mean, there's been questions that have been asked and things that have been answered. It's really hard to have evidence if certain protocols aren't being followed.
Yeah, I forgot something. My first actual bad feeling about Seth, which was I can get bad feelings again. He's not my top suspect, okay, but he is a suspect. Let's be fair. But he did this interview. I think it was one of the first interviews I saw. And when he talked, now I did not know about his shoulder injury, so I don't think as much of it now. But I remember he did a Chris Watts thing, and we are going to cover that. That's a whole show I've got planned. But I didn't like that he was in the interview, and when asked something about his son missing or who he thinks is involved or whatever, he went like this. And I watched that along with everyone. I said, holy shit, that's the arrest fucking stance. As just the topic and what was being discussed when he did this, I did not like that. And it did. Chris Watts also did that.
Sort of the self-soothing thing.
Yeah, but everyone is different, but I didn't like that. I'm just being honest. I didn't like that. It was weird to me. But I mean, again, this anyone could do that. I'm just a crazy person with a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Had to start back over from day one.
Going back to day one, so Sebastian goes to sleep the evening of February 25th. It's on the morning of the 26th that your ex-wife finds that he's not in his bedroom. She is the only one said to be home. And Sebastian could have vanished sometime in the hours from when she last saw him go to sleep and from the time she opened the door. There's a window there overnight. Your best guess, Seth, based on how well you know your son, what do you think happened to Sebastian?
He's not the type to put on.
I love Kool-Aid.
He's not the type to leave the house without putting on socks and shoes. As for running away or leaving,
Yeah.
he didn't take his backpack.
Right.
He didn't take his switch. He didn't take his phone. I mean,
You guys, one time I ran away and I took my Bible and my homework so I wouldn't get in trouble.
Oh, goodness.
So leaving without shoes is a little bit fucking weird to me. I think I packed like a granola bar, I packed my Bible, and I packed my homework. The no shoes, yeah.
Paul, I get what you're saying. But however, Chris Colbert, who is the private eye for the Wells family, he's a bigger, huskier guy, maybe even bigger than Mr. Rogers, and he can get up and down in those mountains no problem. So it doesn't seem like it, but those people are, when they're from the mountains out there, they're just used to it,
And adrenaline can work wonders.
Absolutely. And love and desperation will get you up there. Yep.
Yeah, passion. Yeah. Proudfoot is Irish. All right, well, I didn't know that.
And I know I think even Andy B would say, even at a time when he was a little huskier, that he didn't really have a whole lot of problem getting up and down. No, and I'm not trying to even be funny.
No shade, Andy.
No, at all, Andy. Not even trying to be funny. More of a compliment. Like, I had an issue the first couple of days getting up and down the hills when I was there, and I'm thin. So
Wait, did you? Because I saw you run down that thing holding the log pretty good.
Going
I
down
think you
was no
needed a
problem.
belt, but okay,
Yeah.
down. Oh yeah, down's easy. Okay,
Well, I had
we
just
didn't see
slipped
you
in
go
a
back
whole
up.
pile of dog poop too, all the way up my legs. So I went in and changed my clothes, and then came down and didn't get a chance to swap the belt out. But um, no, I mean, Jody didn't
There
really
he
seem
goes.
to have much of an issue.
Oh,
There you go.
oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big you are. Not even being funny, but Jody didn't really seem to have an issue moving around on the camera the little bit we've seen. So,
Right. Right.
I don't think the BMI really has a lot to do with it when you're accustomed to it.
I mean, that's true, but it's funny. You gotta laugh, you guys, because the shit's just too dark. I'm sorry. Have we heard the reason yet of why he had hid under the neighbor's car? Okay, I'm hearing there's a lot of new shit that I'm hearing even just tonight.
Okay.
Like I actually didn't know he ran away before, and this he
Yeah,
had
he
hid
speaks
under a
on it.
neighbor's car before this incident. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that. I don't know nothing about that till right now. I haven't heard anything anymore about it. All right, well we're gonna be doing some study sessions because again I'm following along with everyone, but of course I've got questions like
And
everyone
there's
else
tons of
does.
conjecture. There's a lot of conjecture floating around, and that's what a lot of these are for, is to just find the factual actual.
Whoa, okay, Spirit Seeker Squad who puts in the time, the research, the work, okay? Very reputable person. Subscribe her channel. I didn't know that either. Seth isn't the last to see Sebastian. His mother was. Seth
Right.
has taken off work to do the searches. Where's his mom? Good question. That is a good question.
She's aloof, it sounds like.
But is she not the woman who got caught on camera saying they have recordings of Chris Proudfoot ripping down the missing posters and saying that no one's ever going to find Sebastian?
Well, that would be problematic.
I don't know if that was Seth's mom, but there is a lady saying that there is video footage of alleged. I haven't seen it, so this is all alleged, but I heard somebody, I've seen the video. I heard this be said by an older lady. I don't know who it was. I don't even know who was recording that video, to be honest. But that's what I heard. I don't know who it was. Anyone in the chat know who that was? Mom, Katie said. Now, here's the thing. Chris's parents and family members have been all involved. Katie's family, nowhere. Seth's family, yeah, I haven't seen Seth's family. But Chris's stepdad and mom also took off right away to Alaska, I'm hearing as well, which is much like Robin Lane taking off to Hawaii right after Summer disappearing. And I'm talking days after the disappearance. So it's all fucked up. Hey, sis.
Hey,
Yeah, she was last to see Sebastian. Right. Yet she's not even my first suspect.
she ain't my first either.
Is it Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
KKB, what's up, baby?
What's up?
Good
Good to hear your voice.
to hear yours.
The band is back together.
Can't stop it. Only the strong survive, baby.
That's it, baby.
Ain't that the truth? He took a 10-month
No,
leave of absence
like
before he had
I
to go
think
fund me.
Seth is
Okay.
innocent. This is a man in pain looking for his son. You can feel that, especially being a parent. But he does do some weird shit. But look, if it was I don't know what I would do in this situation. I would probably get on every channel I could too. I think people, yes, he does
Right.
mention money, but I get it. But it's just, we've seen people, Jody Sue, for instance, money. You see it in so many cases, and you're kind of jaded to the ones that
Yeah.
really need it, and
For
people's
sure.
like, oh, you're bashing. No, I'm not bashing Seth. I get him, and he don't know how it works
right
on
back.
here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We're just like you
But
said.
at
We're
all times, I
kind of
know he's
jaded
on
to
new
it.
medicine. Of all times to fall asleep. I mean, I don't think he failed, or I don't know what I'm saying. Shit, but of all times, I would make sure I was prepared for this.
Yeah, and
This is
again, I have
huge.
faith in Nancy Grace and who
Yeah,
she chose to poly. And if he shouldn't have been polyed that day, he wouldn't have been. I
at least he
honestly
went to
believe
take
that.
it. At least he
Right.
went to take it.
They'll be like, come back another day, sir, or something.
Yeah. But everybody's like, "Oh, you're against Seth." If you say one thing, no, I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Mm.
And we can't help how we feel about things. It's how we feel. It's why it's a discussion. And
Yep, that's exactly. Let's start more of this video here. Why does it take me over an hour to get through 10 minutes?
Lord, I was out in 5 hours the other night. Didn't even realize it. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
Well, I mean, the discussion part of it is important too, right? So,
Just
Especially when you
doesn't
first
make
get
sense.
started.
mm-hmm.
And he's not.
And we've been selfishly dragging Benny through this because I'm like, we need you. Selfishly, like, I need to bounce these thoughts and opinions. I bounce them off Cotton, all right. And Mark hears all about
We
it.
always
But
got Benny. We all know that.
we always gotta, Benny, what you think?
Because he thinks different than us. Makes you
Yeah, and
think
we
about
don't
stuff.
always agree either. You know what I mean? Like, we agree on a lot, but we also do disagree on a lot too. So that's why I love it. The same with me, me and you. So it's like
Hmm.
we can
That's being an adult,
yeah. And like the YouTube shit ain't gonna break bonds like we got. It's YouTube's YouTube. Real life is a whole nother thing.
See, what could be the bean said?
I'm
I
not a
agree.
bitch,
It's just some
Seth.
odd
Be
behavior.
lectured. Yep. And that's
It's
fair.
not that we're saying
Unfortunately,
he's
this is all public, right?
or
So,
guilty.
yeah, we all have
There's
our
just weird things
feelings.
that happen, and I don't know. Maybe it's just where they've never been in a situation like this, because we don't know how we would act in this situation at all until you've been
Yeah.
there.
So, I think one of the biggest things for me is I don't like hearing about all this past. Now, I am not clear
I get it.
how long Seth has even been privy to these SA situations. I don't know, because sometimes I hear him and it sounds like he's just learning about it, and other times I hear him talk and it's like, okay, so has he known about this for 7-8 years?
That is a little weird. He's bringing that
Yeah.
up, and he probably shouldn't have. No, but it could make a difference in this case somehow. It couldn't have a special key that we don't know about yet, or you know
It
what I mean,
could.
or
Yeah, that's why it's got to be back burner for me. I don't want people to get lost in it in the depths they
right,
did with Summer
go down
and
that
then not come
damn
out. Yeah.
rabbit hole and
Like,
not be nothing.
take note of it. Yes, absolutely. But don't let that be.
Right now, it's not a factor.
Yeah, it can't be right now. Now, when he is found, hopefully safe and alive and well and able to speak, whatever, whenever he is found, then we can talk about all of the other stuff and that can take
Odd
place.
behavior doesn't make him guilty, and nobody's saying that.
No, it's just odd behavior. They all have odd behavior, And
He has not done any kind of behavior I've seen that makes him guilty to me. I've never thought he was guilty. Never.
I don't know why, like, after these things happening, why didn't he have more custody of his son? I don't know. I don't know these things, And then again, men, I also know I've seen way too many of my guy friends.
It happens when you split up with ex-husbands. You don't.
That's a
And you
big
live
factor.
apart. It happens. You don't. Shit, my dad lived in a whole nother state. When I was growing up.
And then dealing with all that, like, I've seen it too many times. They'd rather they have to kind of put shit aside and just not even go there because just dealing with these people is too much. He had joint custody. Well, I'm sorry, but that happens. He should have had full custody. But again, like, these,
he might not know what was going on. We can't blame him for that.
Well, and it's not normal. Men don't fight these things enough.
They don't.
They don't.
Because most
don't
of these
think they
judges
can
is
win.
for the women.
Yeah,
and the women's
exactly.
the man never thought about.
Yes,
Just saying.
and so I would love to see more men
and all kinds
fight.
of shit,
Exactly. Yes, and so I try to remind myself of that when I'm questioning this part of Seth, because I'm like, well, I unfortunately, all of my guy friends who are
I've never
brothers to me
questioned
have
this
gone
part
through
of it.
this. Yeah,
about him not seeing him a lot,
But I do, because if I'm hearing that's happening, fuck
you know?
that. I'm getting custody. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Right.
So I don't know. But again, Now, again, females and males are different. Again, men don't fight these women. They just don't. And no matter how wrong is going on, and that doesn't make him a bad
Men have
parent.
rights too.
Men have rights too, but unfortunately they do. In the defense of this, to argue with myself, they get fucked more than women
Yep.
in the system. And again, everything is usually pro mom. You know, even if she just did some crack yesterday, she gets full custody. You know what I
Look
mean?
at
Like,
Harmony Montgomery. Her mama.
right. Yep.
And then her daddy kills her. It's like,
Okay, that's interesting. See, that's why we have these conversations, because I don't know, and I haven't been. I'm not.
yeah, they all
I'm.
got some kind of connection in Cali, it seems, in
They
Tennessee.
really
And
do. Yeah.
what else really fucking going on here?
That's why I also question, is everybody in on something? But then I don't understand the finger pointing at each other.
Was everybody
unless-
moving from California to Tennessee for Sebastian when wasn't Sebastian with them in California? Why'd they have to all move to Tennessee? What brought them to Tennessee? Even Chris's family.
Isn't from Tennessee?
I don't know. Are they?
I have
They're
no
there with
clue.
him. No, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think Katie's from Virginia.
Yes, she was cheating with Chris. We know that because of Nina.
And Chris was cheating on Nina.
Yeah, because Katie was single, so she probably didn't know what's up. Because Chris Proudfoot is, he's disgusting. All right, like he's my number one suspect. Let's be
Well,
real.
he's on wife number 5, and that tells me all I need to know
Wife
about him.
number 5. A lot
Yep.
of them he's been a stepdaddy to, right? All of them. Am I right in that? Has every girl he's wifed up had children already? I'm curious.
We don't know about the other ones. All we
Okay,
know about Nina.
that
I found a
is-
name to another one I've been digging on, but I can't find much on her. I ain't
So-
gonna put it out here, but
I think he's a predator through and through. So I
Absolutely.
want to know about his other
Narcissist.
wives.
Straight up
Yep.
narcissist. Not just
And-
throwing that name out there. I know him when I see him.
I want to know. I
Good.
want to know if there was children already in the relationships that he got on, and I want to know because I just feel like I know his type very well.
He's got 4 divorces, and well, he might have 5 here. And this is over.
Yeah, so if anyone can help me with the information about his ex-wives and knowing, I don't need to know children's names or ages or any information on children. I just want to know.
We're not saying that Chris done it just because we're saying he's a narcissist. If that was the case,
No.
all these men would be. People just want to twist shit.
Chris has done nothing but lie. And that's why Chris
Right.
is number one suspect. He's lied. Chris is the one who said Sebastian was putting his marriage on the rocks. And he's just lied too much. He's just lied. And you're lying, like, to nationally. You're going on Nancy Grace, of all people, and pulling the shit you're pulling. That is very fucking crazy to me. Now, let's play a little bit of a devil's advocate in Chris Proudfoot's defense. I do believe TBI told him not to take the poly with Nancy. Okay, I believe. And why he just didn't do what Seth did and said, well, fuck it, like I'm doing it anyway, because that's Chris Proudfoot's right. You can demand.
Don't be
to
putting the
have a
wife's names
polygraph.
in chat, y'all.
Yeah, don't do that. But
We ain't gonna be having them harassing shit now. Come on, don't do that. Somebody delete that. I can't get to it.
so yeah, I just, in his defense, you know, you don't have to take a poly, but also TBI, because Seth said the same thing. TBI kind of advised me not to do it. They asked me why was I going to do it, and he said, well, because Miss Nancy Grace asked me to, so I'm going to do it. Like, weed me out kind of thing. Now, Chris
It's weird they didn't
Proudfoot-
tell Seth not to do it.
Well, Seth says they did kind of tell him not to do it. And didn't really want him to do it. So I do believe they probably said the same to Chris, but Chris took that and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, they're telling me not to.
Yeah.
Well, they're maybe advising not to. Yeah, maybe, but like again, you can do it. What is taking the poly gonna do to? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it can harm you, even though they're not admissible. But like, what do you say? TBI is going to set up their own. Okay, why would they do that? And why would they be concerned with you taking a poly at all if they're saying, well, you were 3 hours away or whatever, so we don't need to poly you? Remember he said, didn't he say, yeah, no, I heard with my own ears from Chris Proudfoot's mouth, I begged to be polygraphed, but TBI said I didn't have to be because they know my whereabouts.
How we know he could have left his cell phone at work or at
Yeah,
work and drove home.
We know how these Tennessee people love their burners.
He could have done anything.
Yeah, anything. Remember my last live with Don Wells, who was like, the kidnapper didn't have their cell phone on him, so it wouldn't ping. What? How do you know that? Yeah, I mean, so anything's possible. You know what I mean? Like, shit. If Don Wells can think that up, Chris Proudfoot sure as shit can. Have a burner that's not got your location on or something. I'm not sure, because you can turn your location off, and is it going to hit on the towers even if you have your phone on you? Can you turn it on airplane mode? Does it hit on towers?
Koberger, he turned his off for airplane mode or something, and it showed that it was off for so many hours, and right after he left the crime scene, allegedly, is when he turned the phone back on.
Did it ping on any
towers?
They
could tell the time. I can't remember.
Okay,
it had to pick it up, didn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that friggin' works. It's something I never, I guess, tried.
It had to ping on towers for him to get location.
Even in airplane mode?
I don't know about airplane mode.
Okay.
But I know why it was off. It didn't pick nothing up. So.
Okay, but like right now, if I turn my location, which I always have my location turned off, am I pinging on towers with my location turned off when I'm riding around in the truck and my location is turned off? Can the towers, is my phone bouncing off towers? Like, are they picking that up even though my location's not on? How do they know what towers if my location's not on I'm bouncing from?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I guess
it's just it's like the metadata or something, you know.
Yeah, like maybe like the phone service would know, but that's actually harder than people think to get phone records pulled.
Because you have to ping towers in order to get service. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That gives you service. Yeah. Like if that tower's down, your phone could be down. Okay, that's the only tower around you.
Not in airplane mode, but once he turns it back on. So if you're in airplane mode and then you turn airplane mode off, will it then like, does it like ping, okay, well, you were just here, here, and here, or is it only pinging from where you are when you turn your phone off of airplane mode on? I'm probably asking weird shit that maybe is obvious answers. I really just don't know.
I don't know either. It's a little above my mind thinking.
I know, and I don't.
I suck at technology.
I smoked a joint.
You give me
a little more curious.
Me too, but
I'm like, how does this work? No.
Now you give me somebody's mother's cousin daughter to search and dig on. I can find you everything about them. I don't know nothing about technology.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some like I don't know.
Where's Benny when we need him?
Oh, he's here. He's probably listening like this dumb bitch.
What the fuck? I get myself
How did she not know this, right?
You're embarrassing me, Cher.
To wander. He's never eloped before.
I've thought that too, Carl.
I'm holding a 5-day challenge where I'm going to show you how to make money online.
You know, I think I'm
does bark the loudest.
Listen, I thought that, but they're all barking just as loud, right? So I don't
see. Look, Chris and Katie barked before Seth really did.
That's true.
They were going on that tour. They were going on everybody's channel until Nina spoke up, and now they ain't said a word. Just saying.
That's true. Yep, that is true.
Because they were on Smiley's. Who was Dolly? Maybe they were on a bunch of channels, and then after Nina came out, ain't heard a word from them.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So they was barking first.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's one thing I did notice, you know, on Seth's behalf is that he did go about like a month or so after watching their behavior. Shit, I'm mad at them too. Before he did do the finger pointing, because I noticed the other side was saying this and saying that.
You can, and if you go back and watch like his video, you can tell when reality really hits him that, hey, my son, I might not find him, in the best
Yeah,
condition that I want to find him in. I don't want to, it just breaks my heart to say it, but you know what I mean? And I think
yeah,
reality's hitting this. And that's when he's got that anger built up. And whenever he said that about the essay,
yeah.
that could have come
Remembering
out
all
as
that,
an
yeah.
anger and just
Mm-hmm.
blowing up. When you blow up, sometimes you say shit you don't mean to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a few times where I can tell, like, he says something, not even thinking about it, and then, like, I can
You can
see
tell
it
he
on his
realizes
face. He's
he
like,
wasn't supposed to
shit.
say that.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I wish I didn't just say that. Like when he was like, they got no leads, they got no evidence or whatever. And like he all of a sudden, I don't think he was supposed to say that. There's a
I
couple
watched
times where he
something,
does
it
that.
was today or yesterday or something, and he said that whenever he was telling, he seen the Texas Roadhouse footage, he wasn't supposed to tell nothing about that. He got in trouble for that, he said.
Oh,
Yeah. He said that, I heard that recently. He was on somebody, where was it? Might have been, fuck, I don't know. He's on so many, I don't know. He was somewhere recently, he said that.
one thing I take note of as well is I don't like, kind of goes along with what Carl says of the person who barks loudest, whatever. But when people add such random shit to what they're saying that to me doesn't even matter, but then they like say it so much to the point where
You
now I'm
overcompensate or
questioning
whatever.
it. Yeah. So now I'm questioning again. This is my own thoughts and opinions, but Katie says we went, whatever, and he had a colossal popcorn, and I'm like, fuck, are we like back to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and the mega pint? Like, what the hell is a colossal popcorn? So she wants it to make known he ate a fucking lot of popcorn. And then they were grocery shopping that day, and because just a 15-year-old and snacks, 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 right? Isn't that what she said? And then
Yeah.
we had dinner. It was
He's a
just
kid, for
food,
fuck's
food,
sake.
food, food, food is all she could talk about on Olivia's interview. So much so that I was like, this is fucking weird. Like, why?
Who's this
What the
Carl in
hell?
chat? Shall we call them Carl Proudfoot?
No,
Are you
I don't know.
one
I
of
think
the?
no, I kind of feel like I know who Carl is, but I don't know for sure. I'm not sure if that's Enchanted Life Path or not, but
Sorry, ladies. Dad had a complete
I
hip
don't. He would come
replacement
in
2
here on his
days
real
ago,
thing.
hold on.
and
What?
so my dad had a complete hip replacement. So I'm doing all the Dr. Benny stuff. So give me just a little bit longer.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
I
you weren't
got
a
him in
little
bed, but we got
outfit.
to get him his meds and stuff. So give me just another
No
5-10 minutes.
problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love Benny.
I know. Hi, Coco Squeaker.
Okay, let's listen to this.
Chris threatened him. He may have a bogus alibi. I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. I'm just going to grab a lighter quick.
Are you leaning towards a potential kidnapping?
Anything is speculation at this point in time, because there is no, as they have said, evidence that leads towards foul play. But there's things that just don't add up. His mother was the last one to see him.
Yep.
She's responsible for this.
Okay, I don't like that right there. That's some fighting words right there to say she is responsible for this. Now,
He could have meant since she was the last seen with him, it was her responsibility to take care of him.
that's
Kind of
true.
like they tried to do to Billy Joe.
Like, how is this mother not keeping him safe now in, like, I guess this would be the 4th big incident? Yeah, I guess, yeah, there's that. But I don't
Yeah.
She is responsible for this. That is, that's, That's straight up incriminating her. And I know she was home alone with Sebastian. We all know that she says that. That's what she says. But I still, Chris Proudfoot is still number one suspect to me.
Me too. Has been from day one.
Yeah.
Was the last one to see
My
him.
camera's off. Okay.
She's responsible for this. Either through negligence, at the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's.
Has she been a good mother to Sebastian?
Woo! I mean, no. No. Not if all this shit's happening under her roof. I don't know how you get 2 sex offenders under your roof with your son, and there should never for sure been a second time, you know what I'm saying? Even if there was a freaking mistake the first time. Listen, someone getting, trigger warning, I'm going to be real blunt about sexual assault. That can happen to anyone. It happens quick, and it can happen on anyone's watch. It can happen.
And one of the horrible side effects of it is wetting the bed.
Yeah. To hear about the incontinence stuff, I already knew. I didn't have to be told what's being put out there. I already had my opinions about that from his age and stuff. I just wasn't going to say it. But now it's all out there. So, yeah, I mean, after he's found, it's definitely going to be a conversation for me. But not right now. It's
I don't know. I think he
back burner.
went out that garage. Something happened, and
people are saying that something about Sebastian would get locked outside all the time. I don't know how they would know that.
yeah, I've heard people say it. I want to see. How do you know that? They need to show us some proof on that.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong allegations because Katie could have been a good mom. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel for her.
A part of
honestly.
me feels bad for her because
Yes, but
I
and a lot
see the
feels that
monster
she.
sitting beside her.
Yes.
But at the
I do
same
kind of.
time, you're a
You feel the
mother.
same as me.
Yep. You're a
Yes.
mother.
But when you're in
and
that narcissistic relationship and they're
it's
violent,
hard.
and
Yep.
it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very, very sticky situation. So, yeah, I worry. I don't know, like, but I have had the thought, like,
But I'm not saying she didn't do nothing or she don't know what happened. I'm not saying that. But, it's.
no, but I just wish, like, now.
It could be a freak
you're-
accident, Somebody could have been
you're
whooping him and
live
went too
with
far.
Nancy Grace, say some. You know what I mean? Because Nancy Grace ain't gonna let you go. People are gonna be on the way in a heartbeat. And for me, yeah, like I don't care. My kid's like missing.
I'm
I
so
think the
glad
family did
Nancy is
something.
coming out of retirement. Can you see her now? And people hate her, and I'm like, she's the GOAT, man. Yeah, she says what we all feel.
I've loved her forever. That's why I was
Me
like
too.
always so like I'm just
I'm
gonna
so glad
say
she's
how I
finally
feel.
coming.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Nancy
She's
Grace
coming
can
back
do it.
slowly. Fuck yeah. She's
Yep.
getting polygraphs out of these people.
He's having a fucking field day with OJ dying though. I you love it. She said in her video today, she's like, OJ died and he's on his way to hell right now. I was like, damn. Okay, Nancy.
Not in my opinion.
Why
This
do you
is
say
the
that,
third
Seth?
time that there's an issue.
That's fair opinion.
My son's
fair.
come up missing now under her watch. Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped. And
Okay, here we go. Let's go back a minute. Here we go.
time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped in their apartment. And the time before that,
Look
I
at that.
did a welfare check because she let a known sex offender who, yes, did their 9 years in prison.
You guys.
You can tell he's a piece of shit. They all got that look.
Could be my ex's twin. He's disgusting. I can't.
Retro gaming. He said OJ in heaven with gloves that don't fit.
I know, I saw that. I cannot. I can't. Like, did he get to the pearly gates? And he was like, if it doesn't
Did
fit,
he
you
drive
must
his
have clicked
Bronco?
on. Did he drive his Bronco? He sped right through them pearly gates.
He's got a pearly Bronco now.
Oh, we're going to hell.
But
Done been there.
He looks.
she left my son
I don't
around
know
that
what
person.
smarmy is, but
You don't
yes,
do-
he does look smarmy. Yeah, look at them.
Do that if you're a parent.
Hold on.
I did a well care check because she let a known.
And now I'm hearing too, you guys. Chris has bite marks on his arm in this interview. Right?
Yes, I heard that. I heard that, yes.
Sebastian. What day are we on? Saturday. Thursday night when I was at work, I was listening to some podcasts about this. If I'm not mistaken, I heard Sebastian's dad, Seth, say that Sebastian would bite. No? Yes?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been out of the loop on this. I've been over with Gypsy
Right.
Rose. Never thought I'd be on her ass, but
Okay, watch out because I've always been following the Gypsy Rose. I've reached out to a few people, including just yesterday I reached out to Ryan because I feel
Poor
bad for
guy.
him now. Yeah, like
I do too.
I
Really
always
bad.
knew this was gonna happen to him, but listen, that dude was
Not that quick, 3 months.
I was not expecting it that quick, no, but like yeah, but anyway, I did one live since her release, and the dating site, no lie, I'll take screenshots of it. I get spammed daily with like 100 of these Christian dating and these Christian sites ever since I went live about her. And where'd she meet Nick?
On the Christian Mingles.
Yep. So I'm like low key.
That's
I've got
weird.
conspiracies, you know. I mean, I know Gypsy's type. She's watching everything about her. She's got her name like anytime people say Gypsy Rose, she's got that shit going off. I didn't even know you could do that. I actually learned that in Courtney Struebel's case because Courtney's dad reached out to me so quick. It was like I planned a live stream, and within an hour planning this live stream, everyone was reaching out to me. I'm like, how did you know? And he goes, anytime I have it programmed so that when people talk about, like, when Courtney Struebel comes up, apparently he gets alerts about it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. It does. I was thinking, when I was looking at it, I do remember thinking he had him in a headlock because the bite marks on where they were are perfect area for bite mark. I don't know if they're divorcing because if what I think is going on is really going on, they aren't going to divorce. They have to stay together.
I don't know. Narcissists need a new supply like every 3 to 7 years. I think it's the statistics.
Oh yeah, dudes talking to women
So,
on the daily. Yep. Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
they ain't
Yep.
gonna stay together forever. They might through this just to show people or whatever, but no, I think they'll
When you
divorce.
got some real dirt on someone, I don't know if you have any other chance. But I'll be also honest, and I do worry
They're gonna
for
crumble.
Katie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I worry for Katie. Are we going to find her? Is this
Yep.
going to be a legit Brian Laundrie situation? I don't know. You can set up Google notifications for keywords. Yeah, I'm learning that. That's crazy. I'll try and get a picture
Sex offender
tomorrow of the
who,
bite
yes,
marks.
did their 9 years in prison, but
Yeah, stepdad's number
she
one.
left my son around that person.
The bite marks aligning up with what could be a headlock. Hearing a thump at 10 p.m.
I just keep
know.
that water pocket on his brain, man.
Okay, I gotta research it because I don't. What does that mean? So can like he be
If
forgetful?
he
All of a sudden, just
I
like
don't know,
like a
but I
light
know he
switch.
can't get hit in the head at all.
He can't get hit in the head at all. Okay,
No.
Okay, so the water pocket on his head, like you're saying, yeah, why the hell didn't she check when she heard that thud then, right?
Like
I
he
see
cannot
what
get
you're
hit,
saying.
period, in the head. It could be fatal.
Mm.
And that's what worries me about that
So
thud. And
essentially, he's got all the time like a soft spot for a newborn that cannot be.
right.
Damn.
I don't know if he had a shunt. I don't know. Because
What is a
I'd heard he had the
shunt?
water pocket somewhere, and I went and I don't even remember what all I watched, but that has been verified. He does have a water pocket. He was born with it on his brain.
Fuck, that sounds painful as
I don't know
shit.
what a shunt is. I know you can get one like in your heart or something. I don't know.
That's not like a metal
But
plate
there's not really
either.
much you wouldn't want to go messing with a water pocket, somebody's brain could bust or, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful, I would think, to.
Hmm.
You don't do that. If you're a parent, you don't do that. You're supposed to protect your kid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put them in where they can get in any. You don't do that. If you're a parent, you don't do that.
Okay, but then what's going through my mind hearing that? You're a parent, you're supposed to protect your kid. Okay. Again, my mind, I'm like, why was Sebastian not in his custody already with the other two incidences? You know what I'm saying? That's just my brain.
You're supposed to protect
Okay,
your kid.
Twa.
You don't put them in where they can get in any type of harm's way.
Seth, you said something very upsetting, very shocking, and I just want to go back just a moment. You said that your wife allowed your son Sebastian, your ex-wife, I should say, your ex-wife allowed Sebastian to be in a situation where he was molested and raped?
In California.
Did she allow or did
Chris in
Chris
her
allow? You know what I'm
apartment.
saying? Well, I guess they both allowed, but yeah.
They let a child who was 5 years older than my son
Yeah, that's
play
weird.
with my son and didn't bother to check on him there neither. And he lost his innocence because of it.
Seth, I'm so sorry to hear this. I'm so sorry to hear this. No child should be subjected.
Yeah, I'm for, like, I don't know, having Katie fuck with the cameras for a few minutes and putting Seth and Chris alone in a room for like 90 seconds. That's all we need.
They need to separate Katie and Chris
do.
and drill the fuck out of them.
And they're
They'll break.
married,
Keep
right?
them in there for hours upon hours upon hours. They'll break.
I don't know.
I want them to do it to the whales too. After so many hours, you're going to want to get out of there and you're going to break down and tell the truth, in my opinion.
Can they do that if they're married?
I don't know. If they're both suspects, maybe.
Yeah.
I just know, like, if you're married, you can't testify against your spouse.
So that's just like through a trial. You can be questioned about your spouse. That's allowed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I know, like, in court, they couldn't testify against each other.
Okay.
Subjected to any kind of abuse whatsoever. Sexual abuse can be especially traumatic for a young child. Is this something that Sebastian has struggled with since then?
Yeah, I finally was able to actually start getting him
That's got some
therapy for
big-ass
it
arms,
last
man.
year. The fact is that they weren't doing the correct thing, clearing California. And it's just last year finally getting him help because he's a victim. And now
Why
I'm
did it
finding
take
out
7 years to get him help,
he
though?
was a victim of that. He's a victim of not getting the help he needs. And
Why, though? Hold on, wait a minute. He
know.
got help last year, he just said, right? So Sebastian's 15 right now, if I'm not mistaken. And so last year we put him at 14, 13,
So his
14.
dad not seen him in all this time? He has, I'm sure, right? So,
I think he has.
yeah.
I know they, like, video chatted each other, like, every night, I believe.
Okay.
Why does it take 7 years to get therapy for your child after him getting SA.
Especially at being, on the spectrum, right? Like that's a lot.
Hey, Carl and Spirit Seeker Squad, cut the bullshit arguing out in chat. That's enough. I've been watching them for 30 minutes argue. Stop it.
Wait, what?
I don't know what they're arguing over. Them two, I just see them going at it, and it's nonsense. Let's talk about the real issue here, not what. Who cares what somebody says? Fuck.
Carl's an idiot, though. Like, Spirit Seeker Squad does her work. I don't know what work Carl's done. I don't even know who you are, Carl. You're hiding behind a fucking picture with a C on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Spirit Seeker, you keep responding back to him. That's arguing, honey.
I've listened to some of their podcasts where they make fun of him. Make fun of his dancing.
I don't know.
Chris
I have no
obviously
idea.
has
I don't
this thing
either.
about
Hey, Wandering
physical
Heart.
discipline with him, and it's just.
Does anyone feel like it's a
It's not
scenario
good.
where like the first to get to the YouTube maybe like gets a little more in this situation, like mom's not so readily available and dad is, and so you're even seeing it here in the lower thirds on court TV. They're saying mom this and mom that, and I don't know. It seems that way a little bit to me, maybe.
Like, I definitely had that feeling, but Chris and Katie were the first ones to be vocal. Like
Yeah.
Val said, it wasn't until
Spirit
Chris's
Seeker, you can go in
ex-wife.
timeout too, honey. God
It
damn, they
wasn't
won't
until
shut up. Sorry.
Chris's ex-wife come out and kind of said what her history was with Chris and let us know a little more about Chris's past. All of a sudden they shut the hell up. But yeah, I got that, and you can tell Katie's very. I don't know if you're asking me, and I'm the last one home alone with my child who disappears. I'm not looking at my husband who wasn't there for all the answers, and that's
Good
what
point,
she's
Andy.
doing.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah, right? Like, why is she
What blows my
continuing?
mind, Chris talks for her, and he wasn't even there, allegedly. What the fuck you doing talking on a kid that ain't yours that you wasn't even around when he disappeared, allegedly?
Or did he
Katie
get
sits
ahead
like a
and
little
do it?
lost puppy dog, you know?
Yeah, and I don't get that unless she knows what happened, knows what Chris is capable
Guilty
of, and she's
knowledge.
deathly afraid herself. Like, dude's gonna hurt me. But you know what? My kid's missing, and this monster's beside me. Like I said, I'll be live with Nancy Grace, and I'm saying, this motherfucker did something, investigate him. I don't care if when the camera turns off, I'm getting black eyes or whatever. Obviously, in a matter of minutes, there's going to be law on that. They're watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that would be my move. I'm going to die making sure people know the truth. That's just me. And that's why I don't like Katie, because she's had, in my opinion, plenty of opportunities that if she knows something and she is in fear of Chris, she could have, that's it. Or
This would have
Sebastian
been her
is her
chance to get
only
out.
child. Yeah, exactly. Sebastian's her only child. Your only child.
Does Mr. Rogers have other children?
I'm not
I don't
100%.
think so. I think
Okay.
just Sebastian.
Okay.
That's all I hear him talk about. I don't know.
So
I could
you've
be
got
wrong.
3 adults that should really have one focus in terms of the child and his rehabilitation.
Chris has other children.
The stepdad, right?
Yep, stepdad. And that's the
Okay.
thing, if you listen to these interviews, they don't really say, like, even Katie, I've heard her say the kid. I don't like that from parents of missing children. Say their name. If anyone's gonna say their name, it better be
You
fucking
know,
the
though,
parents.
I wouldn't really consider them. Well, they might be Southern, but in the South, you do kind of say that the kid, or I don't know.
Yeah, but I
I
don't
get it.
like that. But yeah, I get
I
that
know
could be a
people get
cultural.
mad because people don't say Summer's name, but I get it because I grew up around that culture, you know,
Yeah.
Anytime I
or
see
that little girl, or
Mr. Proudfoot, his name shortened down and abbreviated to CP. It's just hard to get past.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh yeah.
Was you
Oh
here when we said he's been married 5 times, Benny?
Oh no, I did not.
yeah.
Yeah. Katie's his 5th marriage.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And
Wow.
Sebastian was putting their marriage on the rocks. So again, I want to know about the other 4 marriages. Well, we already know one of them. There was children before Chris got into the relationship. So I want to know, because if he's the type of person, I'm guessing almost all of them had kids prior to him getting involved with them. He's a predator, he's a monster, and he knows what he's doing. They have a way of working, and they like single mothers, okay? Because we're
Especially single mothers with children, if there's certain
single mothers with children who
and
struggled.
Yeah, and this child has a
Addictions.
limitation, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
that happens a lot too with single moms with kids with disabilities. Yep.
Be careful, Ziggy.
Fucking Ziggy.
I cannot. She posted a selfie of her in bed with Fred, and I about lost my dinner.
that.
I was like, and she's like, I think this might be too much TMI, but like, I just said, like, oh my girl, let's discuss.
Maybe
She said, "Thank you all for supporting me and Fred."
Oh, thanks for taking one for the whole team, Ziggy. You nasty ass. The whole team. All of the teams.
But we all knew already.
It's disgusting.
Lord.
She is nasty. She better not never talk about me sending an ass pic to Don Wells ever again.
I swear.
You know, you're in bed with Fred Hill, man.
Fred's just trying to get to the 3 good-looking sisters.
That's terrible, but probably true. Ew. We all saw their hibbity-dibbity faces, you guys, and I'm not cool with that.
Andy said, "Thanks for getting him out of Tennessee."
Oh, is he out of there now?
Yeah, he's moving in with Ziggy. Yep.
Lovely.
That's scary as shit.
You know, Laura,
that's weird, though, man.
Voodoo doll right now.
That's weird. The dogs hit on this man's truck.
Right.
Okay.
And isn't that where they went looking for Summer?
What'd you say, Benny?
I said, meanwhile, the dentist won't hit on his teeth.
Oh my God. This wins the internet tonight. Talk about getting inserted into a case.
She really plugged into his case now, ain't she?
Oh, Fred sure has.
Man, he's gonna tear he's gonna tear Shelbyville up one box of Sudafed at a time.
Oh,
fucking Ziggy.
I can't. I'm not gonna be like I never
weird.
like I had my suspicions, you know, but like
she wanted an in-home anthropologist.
Oh, look what Andy said. Can't testify against your spouse.
That's it. That's what I was gonna say earlier with what Casey K posted. They're trying to lock down a testifying situation.
I think. Listen, yeah, she's gonna have a Fred Hill baby. She's already got a Don Wells puppy. No, mark my words. She's gonna get pregnant by
some
you.
unknown bone.
Listen, she's already deleting shit. Again, how does Fred know Ryan and his wife and Andy are in the wrong spot and that Summer won't be found there? How do you know that?
You know what?
And why'd she delete that?
I think we really want. This is the thing. I think a lot of people want to look at it for what it sounds like, and it very well may be worth its face value. However, we know Ziggy is really just an idiot, so
she's lonely and thirsty and.
Well,
she won that old challenge, you know, hop a plane for the D. She's fucking.
It's going down to the DM.
Yeah, like she's fucking up a missing child's case for the D. Okay, that's crazy.
Ain't Laura his wife? Ain't he the one's got Laura for a wife?
No, and you know what, Andy, please on your channel show this shit. Okay, because like,
wasn't she just in love with the dollar store general guy that didn't have no teeth?
Who,
She got a
Laura?
fetish for a motorboat. I'll tell you what.
I just had pictures of her at the Dollar General, so that's funny.
Since all this been going down, she been warming the oven.
But what's funny to Benny's so bad. Y'all are bad. But what's funny to me is like 2 days ago, Ziggy just said, Laura wanted me with Fred. It was real fucking weird. That's not what I seen Laura say. Like, I have conversations with Laura, and she was like, that bitch was fucking him. Like, I knew it. Like, she's
a homewrecker.
Shut the fuck up, Ziggy. Like, you're lying. And it ain't for me. Listen, it ain't for me to put it out there, Andy. Hint, hint. But I mean, like, I see a lot of shit going on, a lot of shit that I don't talk about publicly, you guys.
I mean, but what's he gonna do? He's gonna move out. I mean, he has a whole industry there, right? With the meth and the car crushing in Holland, and he's got equipment there. I mean, Ziggy can't even pay her bills. She has little old ladies paying her bills. So what is he gonna do? Move to Indiana and do what?
Grift
The
with
other
her.
dude out of the dollar store general manager?
Oh,
job? I don't know.
they're the Cash App gang, bro. I mean, they're gonna be the new true crime duo. They are the new Mr. and Mrs. Cher. He is now Mr.
Ziggy. Stones here soon.
What's their name? Friggy or Zed?
Friggy.
Or like
I now pronounce you Ziggy and Fred Dearbones.
Yep, they're Mr. and Mrs. Ziggy. People gotta start calling them Mr.
Mr. and
Ziggy
Mrs.
now.
Bones.
Mr. and Mrs. Bones. Ew. I don't want to say that because it makes me think of her and Fred in bed, and it's gross.
That's Fred of the Hill.
I could never unsee that. Actually, I kind of want to sue her for what my eyes have seen.
They're gonna start a Pornhub channel. Spoiler.
That's their celebrity name from now on. It's Friggy, all right? What the frig are they doing? I don't know, but that is their celeb name.
It's short
That's
for
it.
Frigid.
Frigid and Friggy.
They're going to make a killing off this because, you know, people's going to tune in to watch this shit show.
God damn it. They're going to sell merch that says Friggy on it with their damn
They're going to make a killing off this, you watch.
Selfie on there.
Yep.
Don't you even dare.
You better watch out, Andy. TM's going to come after you soon. She's going to want to get married too.
Someone.
Oh, fuck.
You just did that. Oh, shit. That bitch apparently wants to have some beef with me, and I don't even understand. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that alone. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
she ain't worth it.
No. She really...
It'll be unsolicited if it is.
She does not. She does not. I don't know why she threatened me and then like went mute for 2 weeks. It's fucking weird.
Don't give her no airtime. She ain't worth it.
All right, yeah,
she needs content.
All right, moving on. I just got a song stuck in my head all of a sudden. Was it?
Andy said, "I'm happily married, thank you."
Oh, yeah, he is. And fucking A, they cook some good food.
Is that what they call it now?
I need to find my son.
Right.
And he's gonna
Andy and Becca cook some good food. I don't know what the hell Ziggy and Fred are doing.
Oh yeah, no, I thought you were talking about Laura.
They ain't cooking food.
They ain't cooking food. Oh.
No.
I know what Fred used to cook. We'll find
Ziggy
out.
Ziggy on a weight loss journey. You watch when Fred gets there.
When Ziggy starts dropping them pounds, we know. Okay.
Yep. They cooking some good food.
She'll be like.
Yeah, I heard so now.
We're terrible.
Now to put him back on the right track.
Yes. Was Sebastian the one who told you about the sexual abuse that had happened?
His mother did, and my son did. This happened in California, so.
Is he doing a lot of itching, maybe, or no?
Sheriff's Department, CPS was involved. Sheriff's Department was involved there. They wouldn't give me the kid's name.
It could be he's been out in the woods and everything searching too,
Yeah.
Benny. You know what I
But
mean?
At least the only thing I was able to do there was
I don't know.
put the
I know codeine to make you itch.
the detective over that case in contact with the school psychologist so that at least they could protect the other children from this child.
Right. So no juvenile proceedings commenced or anything.
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Well, somebody taught the other child that's the predator how to be a predator, so that child needed to be protected too.
Why
And where did it start from? From the predator to be a predator to begin with, if these are children. What have these children seen go on
well
to get
here
this
yeah.
own behavior?
Yeah, and if the kid that did this, let's remember from what I'm hearing, Sebastian was the one raped. Okay. Um how does that make Sebastian the pedo?
That's heavy duty.
I don't
They
understand
probably
that.
blamed him.
I don't
Who
care if you
the
blame
kid that
him,
done it to him probably, but you know what I'm saying? And then Chris took that and run with it
but taboo bullshit that
because
somehow
he didn't like
Sebastian asked
Sebastian.
for it. Fuck out of here. Like, no, that kid
Well,
was
Right.
clearly older.
it's like the old, you hear about adults, and actually, I watched something with a police officer recently that was trying to blame a young girl on Snapchat for sending him suggestive photos, and you cannot blame the child, right? So really, in a scenario where a child is under the age of prosecution, you have to step beyond the child, although he may be predatory or she may be predatory in the behavior, it's coming from somewhere else, right? And if it's
Right.
not, then it definitely, either way, it has to be addressed. So it's really hard to find yourself in a situation where you're blaming only a child for something that a child really doesn't
Had no
have the
control
gravity to
over.
understand, right?
Exactly. That's so fucked
But
up.
look, Benny, they didn't find out he had autism until this past November,
What?
and he
Really?
turned 15 in December. Yes, this
Yeah,
past
no,
What?
November they
that's
found out he had
So
autism,
one
and he
month.
turned 15 in December when he was 14.
One
Well,
one
he
month
turned,
before
yeah.
so
his
they
birthday.
had him in military counseling, and the military counselors with everything they know, they couldn't tell that he was on a spectrum.
For 15, that's why I said 15
Yeah,
years, and you couldn't tell something was wrong with this child.
I'm
untreated,
gonna be
undiagnosed.
honest. I
Yeah, that's
didn't know.
crazy.
I wouldn't guess that in many of his pictures until they said that. I didn't guess that. I thought he was just
But he had to have the behavior.
one of
But
those
he's high functioning,
nerdy
so I don't know.
kids. Yeah, I didn't know high functioning. Yeah, I gotta kind of
But
know
still,
more about what that
15
exactly
years,
means.
you can usually tell when they're little.
You can tell when they're little, yeah, and a school usually picks it up before a parent does, but
Somebody picks it up.
Yeah, they have the
somebody, yeah.
Somebody.
axes
And
to check. They can say, okay, well, this checks the axes. This checks the axes. Let's look into having him
but
tested
then
from
what
a
made him decide this time that he was autistic? What stood out that made him finally see he's autistic?
something. Definitely, it progressed. It did not get any better.
Mm-hmm.
Share the
We're still talking
detective
about
over that
Fred and
case
Ziggy
in
and Chap.
contact with the school
It's
psychologist
just
so that at least they can protect the other children from this child.
Right. So no
But
juvenile
California would
proceedings commenced or anything like that, Seth, with this child. He wasn't brought
not
to
in
juvenile court.
California. No, in California, kids 13, they're like, he's too young to prosecute. And they wouldn't do anything about the parents either.
case was 13, too young to
Seth,
prosecute.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My heart breaks for you for so many reasons, and this is just one more of those reasons.
That's not great, but we don't know enough of the scenario because, like, yeah, like you said earlier, sis, like, what happened to that 13-year-old that he's doing that? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
unfortunately, monsters create monsters, and
correct.
it's not always their fault. So sometimes I don't think they even know they're doing wrong. And I'm not trying to make an excuse, but when I hear such young ages, it's hard for me to put such a heavy thing on them. Like what happened that we're not knowing. You know what I mean? I'll just leave it at that. Welcome to the Crazy Train, KCK. Members live tomorrow. Thank you.
Reasons. Tell me, please, Seth, what else do you want the public to know as people all over are hoping and praying for your son Sebastian's safe return?
Okay, Chewy.
That I'm just looking for him. I need people to help. I'm just one person. I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. I have to find him. I have to find him.
Where are
Okay,
we at on the
so
time in the video? Are we around the 8-minute mark?
9 minute 51 seconds. You want me to go
Okay.
back to?
He made a comment that was interesting around the 8-minute mark, and it was about what the child is going to need when he returns, right?
Okay, let me go then a little bit.
It's
Let's go
right
to
at
like
8 minutes.
right at
That's
8
a little
minutes.
odd.
Okay, let me
Correct.
go 7:45. Let's see here.
Sorry, I missed that portion of the.
No, that's okay. I didn't. Again, this is why we go back and re-listen and re-listen and re-listen, right?
Again, prefacing it and contexting it with the load that he's, emotionally and physically exhausted. It was almost like one could interpret it like he was saying, hey, when Sebastian comes back, he's going to need a lot of intensive therapy. And it just seemed like a strange thing to say. Maybe not. I shouldn't say strange.
Right.
It seemed
Like,
just a little odd.
what all do you know that you're not saying to know he needs all that?
The
Other
first few
than the
weeks and
essay.
all this, though, he was very optimistic that Sebastian was alive. He was happy. He was laughing. Seth was, and you could tell over time it progressed that he realized the reality of he's really missing, For the longest time when he was going on panels and stuff, he was talking as if he was alive and just lost. You know what I'm saying? And now stuff's
Correct.
starting.
And I did a case study 2 years ago, FBI case study that talks about the percentages of survival rate as time goes on, and it does dwindle with every day, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Every
It dwindles
hour.
with
You
every
go back
day.
and watch all these
Absolutely.
interviews, you can see it, and then he just breaks down. One day you could just see it. He gave up on trying to beat that.
So a lot of people think the first 48 hours is crucial, but I read somewhere or I heard somewhere, and now I don't remember.
I got some statistics
The
on
first 3
missing autistic
hours.
children.
Yes, the first 3 hours.
I can send them to you real quick, sis. It's
Is
got a lot of.
crucial.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
send
you
them
get
to
up
me
around the
tonight.
9 to 12 month range, and actually there is one FBI case study that suggests at 1 year, it's around 1%, 0 to 1% retrieval.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that for the Wells case.
No, and the strange dynamic about it
Does
is
that, sorry to interrupt, does
no.
that information at all have statistics with age groups? Like
Yes, it
summer was
does.
5. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at what I
And
just sent you. Share. See if you can share it on screen.
Okay, hold
I
on.
got
with
these from SF Investigates. He done all
with
this.
that comes a strange dynamic that
Yeah, of
when
all
the
people.
stats are so loaded with parental involvements in a lot of these things, that each day that goes by, it's worse for the child, but better for the suspect, right?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. It's terrible.
Because
Okay,
like here is one statistics. It's if they are in a wilderness area, in the woods. The condition uninjured, 88%. Injured, 10%. Fatality, 2%. No trace, 0.
Correct.
I'm going to
I
put
can
that
send
on a
survival
community
rate.
post.
Under 24 hours, 100%. Over 24 hours, 67%. 48 hours, 50%. 72, 96, nothing.
All right, what about 50 days? We're down to.
Hold on.
I even, there's a rudimentary way to do like a radius, and then what you can find kind of generically what by age range how quickly they locomote, and then depending on terrain, you can kind of get a rough guesstimate, whether it's flat or mountainous, how far away per hour they can get away from the house unabated, right, without help or someone taking them. And you can only go so far,
Benny,
Yeah.
I'm texting you these two.
If
Thank you, love.
so
You're
he's
welcome.
not known to run, but yes, he is at the age to run away. Now, I don't know, he hasn't run before. Right now is questionable by
I've
he would
heard he's
run.
never run away before. I heard that was a
Exactly.
no. That
But
come from KD and all of them, I believe.
the running
Why all of a sudden
away,
would he run away at 15? That just does not make sense. Unless
he's
he
gonna
was
need
running away from a monster in the house.
exactly. But here's my thing: I ran away at 15 from the group
The
home.
scent,
That was crazy.
the scent was at a pond. The only scent. There wasn't a scent at his house that they allegedly picked up on.
They kind of like up to a pond, but also at a construction site that I believe was Chris Proudfoot not working on or something. I don't know. Something
Yeah, he was
about
a
a
crane
construction site.
operator at St. Jude Hospitals.
Right. And was there scent picked up there?
No, not that I heard of. I just
Okay.
heard at the retention pond where because I
Yeah.
got on that 911 call or whatever that we played.
Yeah. Now I
It's in
hope they
there.
leave that drained for some time because
Absolutely.
again, we know that people can continue. Jacob Wetterling, 27 years being moved around. Okay, that's disgusting to think of, but it happens. So
That's one thing I had said to a friend, that you can already account for the statistics of autistic children being drawn to the water. And then if you have a parent that may know that, this is all theoretical, in my opinion only, not the two ladies,
oh,
that maybe someone goes by and sees, oh my God, there he is, he's in the water. We've got
like
to get rid of something. It's
mom
theoretical.
went driving around.
Sis,
Sure.
on my channel, I put all of the call together, the 911 call or whatever, the dispatch call.
You have
I don't
that?
know if Benny's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my channel. It's just a short thing of it. It's not the whole thing. Benny might want to
Okay.
hear that because it talks about the retention pond and all that.
Do
The
you
scent
want to
and
plan a live for tomorrow and go through that with us?
Absolutely.
or we could do it now.
No, girl, I'm gonna take my
Well, it's on my
supplements
mind.
soon.
Here at the 8-minute mark, though, that's one of the things I wanted to sort of compound is his commentary at what Sebastian would need upon retrieval. And again, you can look at that a lot of different ways, but in the color of what he's saying about mom, you sort of, and at this time, this was 10 days ago, right?
For him missing or the pond being
No,
drained?
this Court TV Live expose was
Oh
10 days
yes,
ago.
7 days ago. Yep.
7 days ago.
Yep.
So it's, of course, there's the influx of emotions and things, but he just made the comment, and that really stuck with me. And it was like, wow, of all the things I've looked at, that was just one of the dad's comments that really just hammered home with me is he just being hopeful, or is there something that leads him to believe X, Y, or Z?
A dog named Mac did hit. This is what's really weird to me also, Benny. 5 dogs hit. Everyone came out and said dogs hit. Then all of a sudden, everybody, including Seth, started redacting that and saying, nope, no dogs hit. But we already know a specific dog that I remember, and Michelle walks, Mac, the German Shepherd, definitely had a hit.
Yeah, it's in that call.
Left out of the chimney via a helicopter, you would think that it would be virtually impossible for there not to be a hit. In fact, on the Wells case, I spoke with a lady that had a dog on one of the days, and that searched a particular cordoned area for that dog to search. That dog hit 32 times. So
I think he went out the garage in a vehicle.
Very well could have, and then that would attribute for why there wouldn't be much scent
outside
trace of the immediate vicinity of the home.
There wasn't none, Benny. No trace. It was only at the retention pond where they had a hit, and there was footprints.
There was footprints. I thought I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I remember Katie went out driving. Yes, bare footprint, like side by side.
And then when the officer says, "What size shoe does he wear?" and the officer said he wears a size 10.
Okay, that's a big foot. Yeah. Okay. Well, size
in that call.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so sis, either tonight after I go live, maybe you want to go live and continue this discussion.
No, I don't want to go live.
Yeah, it's getting late, or unless you want to do it tomorrow over on your channel, I'll be there because I want to hear it, and I didn't know you had it. I didn't.
Let me see how long it is.
All right, yeah, if it's not too long, we'll pull it up. Let's go here to the timestamp though.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll pull it up right after this, and that's fine. Tomorrow's Sunday. I can sleep in. I don't work tomorrow.
I love you.
It's not good.
Seth, I'm so
I need
sorry.
to find my son,
Right.
and he's going to need extensive therapy now to put him back on the right track.
Yes.
Put him back on the right.
Was Sebastian the one who told
Was
you
he ever on the right
about
track
the
living
sexual
with the other
abuse that
two?
had
But
happened?
That's just a really heavy statement. I think that's the way that I should have said in the beginning. Not strange or odd, but it's just
He would have needed that 7 years ago, right? When
Correct.
everything happened. So, yeah.
Correct.
I don't. They all failed him on that level, though. Even
Everybody
Seth.
did. Yes.
I mean, it is what it is right here because that child. Look, he's been struggling 15 years with autism, and could you imagine?
Yeah.
How does he get therapy?
He was
in
probably going
California,
insane in his own mind, and didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, I honestly don't like to think of that.
15 years. It pisses me off though. They had to see something.
Really quick, you guys are bringing up the water thing. I'm remembering Katie went out driving, whatever, and then came back home. At first, she said she was out walking looking for him, and then she said driving. So if she found Sebastian in the pond, then quick called Chris like, "Oh shit, he drowned," whatever, and
I don't understand why people wouldn't call 911. It's crazy. It's like
that 3-hour phone call again, like the Wells. There's this 3-hour time frame, and can't none of the suspects for some reason nail down good enough for me. It's
anything within 0 to 60 or 90 minutes is what you see on a lot of the criminality shows is an acceptable time range to not really know anything. But you get outside of that 90 minutes and they start looking at you a little cross-eyed.
You can,
and again, in the age of technology, you just don't know who the young boy was communicating with on his cell phone or on his Switch.
he played that popular game. What is it?
Minecraft.
Yes, he played that.
And I don't know all the dynamics, but a lot of those games you can message and do different things. And I
so
don't know.
everyone,
But wouldn't there be a
they
scent
all
going out of the house of some sort, even if it wasn't Sebastian?
Sebastian didn't have online gaming, and Seth said he only played singular person games, and there was never any internet involved.
Okay.
I don't know.
Kids are sneaky though.
Again, he is 15. He's high functioning, right?
Kids are
And so,
sneaky,
yep,
yeah.
exactly, yep.
And if you remember in
Kids are
the
sneaky.
Wells case, Don actually, I don't know if he was supposed to say it, but he said on a couple different occasions that he would be approached by people who would notify him that they had been contacted by TBI and or Hawkins County Sheriff, and that they were still continuing to run all of the information on pings of anyone that were in the location on that day. So there's still I think an immense amount of forensic digital work to be done. And fingers crossed.
Metadata and everything else.
Absolutely. But he did say that, he was approached by a few different people that said, "Hey, yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear your daughter's missing, but yeah, we had the police stop by, said, that our phone pinged in the area and they were just checking in with everybody." So
they could have done that here and we don't know,
Yeah, we wouldn't know, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's not for us to know.
And it is kind of good they're keeping everything close to the belt in this.
I agree.
Do you remember about a month ago we did a fundraiser over here for that battered women's shelter?
Yeah.
I'd like to do round 2 tomorrow and turn my super chats off and donate to that organization again. If you guys want to join me to do that.
Yeah,
if I
that's
thought
good
about it,
cause.
I would have done that tonight if I
Let's
thought
do
about
one
it.
for battered men.
Battered men? Yeah, I'll see what the YouTube
Absolutely.
has in there. Yeah, because that's not enough.
Great
that
idea.
one
'Cause
organization
we don't talk
does
about
deal with men too,
have
though.
mental health too, and
Exactly.
men matter too. They just don't talk about it.
Great
Kind
idea.
of like women that have abortions don't talk about it. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm for that. So if you guys will join me sometime tomorrow afternoon, I'll get with you guys in the morning about it. But I'm gonna set up I'll find that organization and we'll do we'll try to do some good with these conversations. And again, Seth's cash app is in the description. Hi Jaded, hey boo. He was getting therapy in California. That confuses me. So that must have been a long time ago. When did they move from California to Tennessee? How was he still
So I was
getting
getting ready
therapy
to
in
ask, how long was
California?
they in
Yeah,
Tennessee?
because I'm confused. That doesn't make no logical sense to me.
You can
when
pull
they
up their
lived in
house on
Tennessee.
Zillow and see when they bought the house.
Okay.
I used
All
to
right.
have it. Let me see if I got
Hold
a
on.
screenshot of that.
Let me. Okay, so I don't even have a pen.
I got so much shit in this phone. I don't know what I do.
There's so much shit we gotta go over. Okay. Oh, yeah, I had to go through and start deleting some of my pictures.
His mother did, and my son did. This happened in California, so.
Oh, I don't need to cut it. Thank you, though.
Sheriff's Department, CPS was involved. Sheriff's Department was involved there. They wouldn't give me the kid's name, his last name.
Why
But
can't
at
the
least
parent?
I was.
Whoa!
No, he says, but I at least. They wouldn't give me his name, but I at least. Again, that's a heavy statement. Like, what would you have done if you had the kid's name?
Yeah, why wouldn't they give him his name? I feel like a
There you
parent
go.
should know that.
I mean, Sebastian should know that, right?
Yeah.
Right? If it's someone from school, or he's really leaning on the fact, or alluding to the fact that it's someone from school, Sebastian should know that. Theoretically.
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't give me the kid's name. So they, as in Katie and Chris?
The law enforcement in the school?
Law enforcement in school, all of them? Yeah. They only been here a few years max. So
their house sold on 9/16/2022. That's when they bought it. 2022.
Okay. So he would not be in the last 2 years getting therapy in California, right?
And if it's the wrong kind of therapy, then what was he in therapy for? Because
Exactly.
he wasn't diagnosed with autism until when, this last year or whenever, very
That blows my
recently.
mind.
So what was he in therapy for? Again, I'm not picking this man apart, but he is
The
saying some
essay,
heavy
maybe. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Not like we're saying he's guilty of anything, but just
but there's weirdness. Unfortunately, he's public, and we see the weirdness, and it's fair to have the questions. I mean, again, he's not our top suspect. He's the least on our list. It sounds like for all of us. So, at least for me, it's Chris Proudfoot's number one.
He's definitely making himself available, and that at this point, I think it says a whole lot.
He's like Brandy Neal on that, I believe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's on it, and
his last name. But at least the only thing I was able to do there was put the detective over that case in contact with the school psychologist so that at least they could protect the other children from this child.
Okay, yep, someone from school, yep.
Right. So no juvenile proceedings commenced or anything like that, Seth, with this child. He wasn't brought to juvenile court.
No, in California, kids 13, they're like, he's too young to prosecute. And they wouldn't do anything about the parents either.
Wow.
And that's the derivative right there.
Seth, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My heart breaks for you for so many reasons, and this is just one more of those reasons. Tell me, please, Seth, what else do you want the public to know as people all over are hoping and praying for your son Sebastian's safe return?
Okay, really quick. Earlier, people were saying that he was telling people first thing that he was begging people to give him money. Now, that's not true. Unless that's in a different interview. Hold on. I want people to rehear this again.
For your
I've not heard him beg.
Safe return.
Me neither. But they said in here he begs for money for help.
I'm just
That's
looking
how he
for
wants
him.
help.
I need people to help. I'm just one person. I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. And I have to find him.
Absolutely. You have to find him.
Okay.
And we will continue doing everything we can here at Court TV. Seth,
Thank you, PR.
what else do you want the public to know as people all over are hoping and praying for your son Sebastian's safe return?
That I'm just looking for him. I need people to help. I'm just one person. I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. And I have to find him.
Okay, I dislike that because the dude is good at being stone cold, but that we have to find him.
He's a corrections officer he learns that,
no emotions whatsoever. But it's weird because in other times I see all of the emotions that I want to see. You know what I mean? Like
he's just exhausted at this point, yes.
It could be, and I think he's actually pissed too. But
he's exhausted.
For me, for me, I don't like it.
That man's been out there every single day in them woods and everything.
And we will continue doing everything we can here at Court TV to help you find him, putting his picture out there, video, talking about him, and hopefully he is somewhere where he can be brought home safe to you soon. Seth Rogers, thank you so much for this talk. Thank you for sharing all of those things. I know it's not easy. Every good wish as you hopefully bring Sebastian home safe soon.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what that was, but yeah, you're right. I guess the corrections officer, I guess should be good at.
Think of Major Payne.
I don't know who's looking at what at the computer, but that wasn't me. Something off with him to me. I don't know. I mean, I might be crazy.
It is, but the off to me is not that he knows anything about his child. That's not. I think it's just who he is. Some people are just weird, Yeah,
and again, the corrections officer, you gotta be stone cold, right?
Yeah.
He's just too stone cold. Sometimes it just fucks with me. I mean, he's good at it. Like, I
got arrested bitch face too, but I'm not.
This is true. I mean, no, not for you, but like I do. I didn't mean you do, but
I do.
I'm gonna shut up.
I hate not go out in stores. People smile. I'm like, fuck you. You smile.
I don't know you. I don't know how to fucking smile. It was supposed to be for SA, but the military didn't have him seeing. Okay, well, the military didn't have him seeing the appropriate kind of therapist. Seth made such an issue at the time. He was banned from the base. That's right. Seth got banned from the military base when he brought up. Okay, yep, all right, yeah, I remember hearing that.
So they were trying to cover up what happened.
And okay, so I don't love the military background either, because I mean, I know. I'm gonna be careful what I say.
And there's a lot of military people that abuse their spouses, and they think the power trips, and
this is true. I mean,
I'm gonna shut up.
I was engaged to a man that was already married with kids, so didn't find out till the day he was being released. I had to pick him up, but his wife picked him up like 2 days before. I was like, I ain't never seen his wife on the base, but I was always there. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I know how these people work, but also I heard a lot of other shit, and I
sent you that audio call thingy.
Well, fuck it. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I've heard that military, depending on the person, and if they're like whatever, military will help people get away with shit. All right, if you're one of their people, and I mean, like, okay, allegedly, I've heard. Okay, does that cover my ass at all? I don't know. You sent an email. Is it something I need to like look at now? So that's why I heard he got escorted off the base and banned from the base, but I didn't know why. That's interesting. I went to go to my Yahoo, and all of a sudden it brings me to...
Play that call, sis.
Okay, what channel on yours?
It's really, it's under my videos. It's the second one.
Second one, okay.
It's really hard to understand because the dispatch, and plus they're Southern, so you got to
Your
really
first channel or your second channel?
My main one, my big one.
Your main one, okay.
My big one, whatever.
Okay, 8 days ago.
I think it's
You
very
guys,
telling though about
Ladies,
the dog and stuff.
I've got to murk off. I've got dad duties. He's texting. So
oh, okay, yep.
yeah, it's time to
Listen to
get
this call
started.
while you're doing something, Benny.
Huh?
Listen to this call she's about to play. It's a dispatch call when he went missing.
Gotcha. I will be listening.
Thank you,
I'm
and you
gonna,
have a good night, sir.
I'm gonna
Yes,
hit you
madam, I
up in the
will.
morning.
I will reach out to you ladies in the morning. Thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate everyone for having an adult session here.
Yes,
Yes, we love you and we
that's
love
nice.
your opinions.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Go get to your
You're
kid. We
welcome.
love you.
Gotcha.
Bye. Okay, we're gonna listen to this video before we call it a wrap. Well, it's fresh on our minds, like the sis says.
It's just, it blows my mind though how they said, you'll hear.
We have an estimated
Okay.
time
Oh, damn!
of
It just
start.
starts right away. Okay, hold on. Am I sharing screen? I don't even know.
Sorry.
No, I was like, damn.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, I'm sharing screen. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put the captions on for those that want it. Here we go.
Do we have an estimated time of start for the search process?
Call came in at 6:33 this morning.
Great, thank you.
I'm pausing already. I'm sorry, but the 6:33 and the 6:29.
The precise time.
Mm-hmm.
Juvenile 1008 Stafford Court, 1008 Stafford Court, Hendersonville. Caller advised this morning there was up and their 15-year-old male is not in the bed. He is white male, 30 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, one finger 20 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. Juvenile does have a form of autism. This is the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. All the doors are locked at this time.
Just going around.
37. I asked the call taker to ask if the juvenile has a phone. Great. Central to 68. I am Mrs. Fire Call.
Sis,
Yeah.
thank you for playing the call while showing his face and his name. Not enough people do that.
You're welcome. Jacqueline, we know that he just got diagnosed last year, baby. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Central to 47-184 and 12. Juvenile
We
left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving a baby blue Infiniti.
I will get back to your email by morning, Jacqueline. I've got it pulled up right now, okay? If I don't get back to you tonight, I will by morning.
I'm in the area. Check long haul out. Just same.
You can take me off the assist flyer. I'll be en route to the missing juvenile.
Next pick track back up. Going into the construction site over here back towards the beach. That's people on behind you. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? You shouldn't have any shoes on. Hey, this is all dry, hard.
I don't know if the universe is fucking with me at this point. But like you guys said earlier, Chris Proudfoot, the initial is what that stands for. And then Tennessee, the TBI, S.A. Bobby Simmons. Okay.
I do have some
The
footprints up
conspiracy side of me is taking note.
over here. Right there where you're standing? Yeah. Leading right over here to the retaining pond.
Google his name.
On the TBI website.
No shoes, just footprints.
Yep, and TBI.
The shoes that Max went straight into the pond. Max led me straight to the retaining pond. Over behind Willow Boulevard, he dove right into the water. Yeah, do you see any prints around it?
So there was sense right into the water. Did he just say that?
Yeah. The dog, Max, the dog was following his scent right into the water.
Okay, let's hear that.
No shoes, just footprints.
There's footprints. Okay.
The shoes that Max went straight into the pond. Max led me straight to the retaining pond. Over behind Willow Boulevard, he dove right into the water. Yeah, do you see any prints around it? There was a few footprints in some of the softer dirt headed straight this way on the track that he was running. 1247, what kind of shoe does he wear? Size 10. So to any units they're going to be assisting with 1008. Please come to 1008 for the search process.
Call came in at 6:33 this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Call came in at 6:33 this morning. So we know she called Chris first. Let's say she really went in at 6 o'clock and he wasn't there. She said something about, I searched the whole house, I just knew he was gone. And it all happened in 1 minute, right? Such a Candace Blythe thing to say. I turned my back for 2 minutes, right? It's 6:33. You went in his room, allegedly, according to you, at 6. What'd you do for 33 fucking minutes? And why are all these women calling these asshole husbands and they know deep down, why are they calling them first? Fuck that. I don't care. I'm calling 911 first, then I'm calling my husband. Listen, the cops are on the way. Can you get home? I can't find, and I need you here. I've got the cops on the way. Get your ass home. That's how I'm doing it. And I've learned I'd rather be safe than sorry. So yeah, if I'm searching the house and I'm hollering and within 5 minutes, I don't fucking care. I am calling 911. I'm the crazy bitch that chased my child's school bus down while calling 911 because they didn't let her off the bus at the stop. It was a new bus driver, and yeah, anyway, it was her first day of kindergarten, a male bus driver, and I just saw her. I was there at the bus stop, and yeah, I just hopped in my little Neon, and I chased that bus down. They're like, ma'am, the school bus cannot stop for anyone. Just go back to the bus stop. I'm like, nope, I will follow them to the bus stop. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Call 911.
Heck yeah.
If they get there and they find your son, they're going to be happy. You're not going to get in trouble for that. I can't see anyone getting in trouble for that. So I just, I don't understand that behavior, and it happens too often, and that honestly makes them suspect, like, so top
Candace called Dawn. And
yep. And they're always on the phone together for some time, right?
Yeah.
Didn't the Soto
Because wasn't she on
lady
the
do
phone
the
with
same
Dawn
thing?
until he got home or something?
That's what they say, and same thing in this case. I swear Mullen's behind this shit. They got themselves a meteor manager.
He's in with the TBI.
He is in. Well, yeah, I already kind of thought that, but
right?
You just said it out loud. But yeah, like, but I don't know because I heard. I mean, like, fuck it. Like, at least Hawkins County says, like, Tim Mullen ain't from us. We didn't.
Is this like some hillbilly Illuminati shit or?
Illuminati is just like the establishment at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we already know that. Well, I don't love the military background. I don't know. I don't love that he didn't call 911. He shouldn't have even been the one who called 911, and he didn't even call 911. He called his sheriff friend's direct line, and I want to know like, so if I just call my local sheriff phone number and not 911, and like a direct number to Sergeant frickin' Bobby Simmons, okay, or whatever SA Bobby Simmons is, I call his direct line. Is that phone call a recorded phone call? Like we can hear that, like the dispatch calls here?
I don't think so.
No? Yes, so that's weird to me. Like, who thinks to do that instead of just call 911? And why is he calling
When you're
911?
in with them, that's why you would think that.
Was he in a different state and he was the one calling 911? She should have called 911. Because don't you want, like, the most closest people to you taking that call? Why would Chris make that call? It's just, it doesn't make sense. If he's 3 hours away, why is he calling 911? I don't understand it.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense to me. She should have. Because when I did call 911 before from here for something that happened in Minnesota. No, for something that happened in Arkansas. And it fucking, yeah, it brought me, of course, and I wasn't thinking, but yeah, it hooked me right up. I'm like, I'm on my American Verizon phone. But yeah, no, took me to the Canadian fucking dispatch. They had to like somehow connect me or whatever. Yeah, it was fucked up. So yeah, that doesn't make sense why he was the one calling when he wasn't in the area.
So to any units that are going to be assisting with 1008, please come to 1008 Stafford Court now, please.
Well, go ahead.
We have a history of this address.
Whoa! 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 Hold up! Wait a minute.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that.
Now, please.
That's the first time.
You heard that?
Yeah, we have a history at this address. That's
Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
What? Does Seth know that?
Hey, please come to 1008 Stafford Court now, please.
Well, go ahead.
We have a history of this address.
That's the first time I heard that, and I've listened to this 200 times.
Whoa! I never heard that. What's the history at that address? What's
Wonder if we
that
could get the police
mean?
log to there.
Mm-hmm. Benny, I hope you're listening. Oh, what? All right, yep. All right. Did Seth know that?
I can't believe I haven't heard that. Because I've put this together and I've listened to it.
This is why we go back.
Wow. That is interesting.
Sis, you need to clip this little part and make it into a short and share it out, and I'll share it out
And
too.
they only lived at that address 2 years also.
2 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, so could the history at that address be from a different family? I don't know. But I don't think so. Holy shit. Clip this, sis. What's the time? Hold on. So we're 3 minutes, 10 seconds
Please
in.
come to 1008 Stafford Court now, please.
Well, go ahead.
We have a history of this address.
Go like 310 to 320, sis. Make a short with that.
All right.
There's a history at this address. This is the first time hearing. I'm so glad she forced me to stay up later, because that's not back burner shit. That is very much front burner shit. And we need now the records to this address that I'm already sure people are getting on. But that's something.
I am not showing any history in the cab with this address.
Rice, where'd y'all start?
I think that now too.
So at the beginning of
I always say
County
that.
Lane 1000. We're going to work our way north up.
A history at this address.
You will take one side of the road, we'll take the other since y'all started there. That's fine. I'll get these two houses right here, and we'll take the right side. We will get a neighborhood Facebook page. Post was made. 1023 checked. No motion on camera.
No motion on the camera. What camera?
There's an additional caller calling that was in the same area, stating she saw someone that made the description on Hogan's Branch, male with sandy blonde hair, with a bag wrapped around his head.
Only way there he's getting out there, no motion on the camera then. That's what we're hearing. When Katie drove out of there. He went out that garage. Yep. She drove him out of there. She drove him out of there. Because where'd she go driving around just like fucking Candace did, by the way? Where'd she go? And that's the only way that kid, the doors were locked when she got up, but he was missing. That house is rigged with cameras. We already know that. Nina's first thing was, well, have you checked your cameras? We already know the type that the freaking Christopher is, so we know they were rigged with cameras. And I shit you
And
not,
Chris is the one that told Seth about him being missing. Katie didn't even tell him.
That's right. Katie drove him out of there and met Chris's parents that allegedly some people saw sitting up the fucking block at some school or something. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I heard that. And then they took We're on it. Chase is on the case.
Jacket. Approximately 2 hours ago.
Someone drove him out of there, and now all of a sudden this is like Gannon Stotch vibes. No. Not Stotch.
Yeah, Gannon.
Gannon.
They found him in Florida. Yeah, yeah, you got it right. I
She
can't
drove
say
him
his
out
last
of
name
there.
right either.
I don't know if
Yep.
her name was Stotch, but I don't know if his was. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Letitia.
Letitia Stotch. Yeah, that bitch drove that kid out of there, and then, anyways, she works with cameras. There's no motion on the cameras, so no motion on the cameras.
216, do you have somebody that
Whoops,
can
hold on.
respond to that?
She either fucked with the cameras to make them not work, or she drove her son out of there and handed him off to somebody else. That's what I think. Yep, I'm leaning. She drove her own.
It's the only way he could have got out of there without no sense.
It has to be. It has to be. Because his footprints and his scent. I mean, my kids go walking around all the time. Is he never outside walking around? I mean, some people are saying he used to get locked outside, so maybe he's been around that pond before. I don't know how long does the scent stay. I don't like it. I'm just saying, but anything is possible. But I feel like, and if Chris wasn't home and no one caught Chris on camera, which I don't know, but allegedly, well, she was home, we all know, and she says along, and she's the one who went driving and looking for him. She drove him out of there. That's the only way he's not caught on cameras where her car coming in and out is. And she needed a goddamn alibi for why she was leaving the house, acting like she was looking for him. Oh, she is Candace fucking Bly all over again with military and sheriff and money behind her. This is fucking great. Seth is up against something much bigger than him. That's my
I was out with that subject last night.
It's not good.
Blonde with a reflective jacket. He's in his 20s. You know, if anybody checked this one little bend straight across from the retention pond about the camera. I'll have to go to know what spun out if he owns a white purple hoodie with Homer Simpson on the
Simple. Anybody that's at the residence can they ask the parents?
Mom doesn't advise that she can recall one.
I'm
white purple hoodie with Homer Simpson on the
Simple. Anybody that's at the residence can they ask the parents?
Mom doesn't advise that she can recall one.
I can't. Mom, what? Hold on. I can't.
Simple. Anybody that's at the residence can they ask the parents?
Spun out if he owns a white purple hoodie with Homer Simpson on the
Light purple what?
Simple.
About the camera.
Okay, forgive me.
Yeah, it's hard to understand them.
Yeah, I want to slow this down one notch. I'm actually going to see if Mark can fuck around with this and clear up some of this.
I'll have to go to know what spun out if he owns a light purple hoodie with Homer Simpson on the
Light purple
hoodie.
Little bend straight across from the retention pond. About the camera.
right across from the pond. There's a camera.
I'll have to go to know what spun out if he owns a light purple hoodie with Homer Simpson on the
Light purple.
Simple. Anybody that's at the residence can they ask the parents?
Mom doesn't advise that she can recall one. Simple thing. 12 Central.
12 Central.
Can we make sure that this has been rolled out to Hendersonville and Galveston? Also,
the Summer Wells conspiracy theories are going to jump right now. It just said goat on here. The universe is fucking with me at this point. This can't be. CP, SA Bobby Simmons, and goat. And we can all smell the mullen. That musky mullen.
they were at Dragon Square last night, just bowling at some games. Can you have a unit go there and just go around and make sure that he hasn't returned there? Make sure.
Okay, make sure he doesn't return to the bowling alley. These kids that go missing seem to have the time of their lives before they disappear, don't they? Some are swimming and going to Sonic, Maddie having her 13th birthday party, and Sebastian having colossal popcorns and arcade games. That's interesting. Having the time of their life and they all poof disappear. Well, Madeline's found, but not with a good ending. But you know what I'm saying? There is a
It's like they treat them out because they know something's going to happen.
Three that want to continue his day. 47 to command.
47.
1011 and 1015 have ring cameras, but didn't pick up anything. 517 Hendersonville is with me. 1006, no contact. 1008, made contact. Hasn't seen anything. 1010, contact. They haven't seen anything. Nothing on ring doorbell.
Okay, why do cops talk like the way doctors write? Which is fucking sloppy as shit.
It's even worse in the South, you know, because of that accent.
Yeah, there's just like a little, there's, and not to be mean, I just can't understand some of it, but
it's a Southern drawl.
The call is staticky on their end and everything. Yeah, they're just not pronunciating, I don't know the word, enunciating words very clearly. It's like lazy language, kind of, which I have. I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying I don't understand it. It's hard to hear it all, which might not even honestly be their talking. It might be just the radios. Did I push play?
47 of them.
47.
1023 and 1024 both have ring cameras, so we're no one's home.
10 for Roger
Command
that.
units on Stafford. I'm going to the command post. If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds. Command units on Stafford. I'm going to the command post.
Okay, well, if that's true, why do they care that he would take a polygraph with Nancy Grace? Why would they advise against it? That doesn't make sense to me, Adam. But yeah, I heard that too. But I don't care. What? Right. I don't care. I just don't care. So again, if that's true, take the damn polygraph, because what do you got to lose? They're not admissible in court anyway.
Chris Watts was at work tw.
Chris Watts was at work too. Ain't that the truth? Damn. Did Chris Proudfoot have any mistresses?
I heard allegedly Katie was banging the neighbor.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I said allegedly. I've heard that a few times.
My camera's off, but I just did the stupid. Have you guys seen that stupid Chick-fil-A stupid thing going around on TikTok? She orders barbecue sauce and and they're like, "What? You just said that?" And I literally went, "What?" Yeah, I'm watching too much TikTok. Okay, well. Katie was allegedly banging the neighbor and then her son disappears. And I don't know how much, I don't know. I don't know who said that or how they know that. Did the neighbor say that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I said. I've heard it. I've heard it several times.
I think I did hear that. I think I heard that on, I think I did hear that. You're right. That is being said. Well, that could be motive to want to hurt her son. He did say their marriage was on the rocks, but we also know the type of person, an abusive, pathological, narcissistic, psychopathic man or woman can be and what they do. And that dude may very well have had a mistress. Did she get mad at Katie?
Especially working on the road, you know, you can have
working on the road.
People don't know.
Oh, a girl knows, but we just can't always prove. But this bitch here has learned to be able to prove. Listen.
You lose them how you get them.
Exactly. Now, to be fair, I don't know what Katie all knew about Chris and Nina because these people are good at manipulating and lying. But at some point, like, she knew something wasn't right. We've all been in these situations.
Well, Katie was cheating on Seth with Chris. They were all cheating. Allegedly.
Katie cheated on Seth with Chris. Chris cheated on Nina with Katie. So when Nina and Seth gonna hook up? I'm just asking for a friend. I mean, we got
She's so
the
beautiful.
She is. What the freak? What in the
And got that
friggy
little
was she
Oompa
doing with
Loompa.
Chris? Yeah, that dude, I'm sorry, but Chris Proudfoot, dude, like
That narcissistic love bombing.
Yeah, and we already know that people like that got the tiniest of the tiniest wieners. That's why they act the way they do. They gotta. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
lying.
always talking
It's
about,
true.
yeah.
It's true.
Their trucks are bigger than their ego.
I almost spit my Coke out when you said that. My Coca-Cola. Oh, shit. Here we go. My Coca-Cola. All right. Don't even white boy radio. All right.
That motherfucker.
You know that would be clipped and going around. Oh, cheers up, Coke.
If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds. 1012 Kevin Lane through 1020. I'll check. 1012, let me go through the entire house.
Selena Dixon's messy, and I love it.
The lady at 10 runs the neighborhood Facebook page, and she's updating it to request people to look in their crawl spaces and hidden areas.
Okay.
10-4.
10-4, roger that.
So they did check the crawl spaces.
That's what they say, yep.
68-9.
Did they check theirs, though?
Go ahead. Hey, at 1017 Killing Lane, did y'all happen to check the crawl space? I will have to check my list, but if it wasn't locked from the outside, it was checked. 1018 stuff.
Okay, oh wait, okay, so if it wasn't locked from the outside, so this is where I learned through the Ruby Frankie case, they will need additional search warrants to be able to go in locked areas, right? Like they could search Jody Hillebrandt's mansion, but to get into the locked safe, they needed to get additional search warrants to do that. So when he says that, it's kind of like, well, fucking make them unlock it and let you search. You know what I mean?
Kind of like if you get pulled over by the cops and a woman has a purse, if that purse is zipped and you tell them no, they can't search it.
Without a search warrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
If it's zipped up, but if it's open, it's different.
Okay, so if they had their camper outside and it's locked, were they allowed to search that?
They would probably have to have a separate search warrant. I don't know, though.
Does anyone know if that camper was searched and if the work van was searched?
I know the work van, I don't think they let them because they tried to say it was HIPAA violation.
HIPAA violation. He loves to throw that. HIPAA violation. HIPAA violation. I can't say what medicines he's on. HIPAA violation. What?
But a HIPAA violation on a work van? That has nothing
Nancy
to do with it.
Grace, when he said the HIPAA violation with the work van, I love when she was like, the van parked outside in the public for everyone to see is a HIPAA violation.
Right.
She was done with it. I was like, go Nancy.
They are reviewing their camera footage right now. 10-4. Are you guys
Who is reviewing their camera footage? I thought they had no cameras. Are they talking about the Proudfoots? Hold up.
Locked from the outside, it was checked.
Okay.
1018 Stafford. They are reviewing their camera footage right now.
The neighbor's camera.
10-4.
The neighbor's camera. Okay. Okay.
Are you guys giving them numbers to call if they find anything?
Several.
Check the cameras.
184 low volume. I got cameras checked.
People 1018. Check the cameras. No contact.
No contact.
464.
What does that mean for a camera? No contact.
Want to walk around the cemetery. Just to the west is Beach Hospital.
That boy didn't walk off that
around the
property.
cemetery. Just to the west is Beach Hospital.
I didn't know there was a cemetery nearby. Are there any fresh graves or waiting graves? Do you know? Anyone know? What's the cemetery? I need to know. All right, I'm gonna look into that because, well, we all know. We all know.
And I'll be on it.
I want to know. Yeah.
St. John Missionary. And I'll be on it. St. John Missionary. 285. Check wall. Hold foot.
Roger that.
Check wall.
Check
Hold foot.
Area 517 to command.
517, go ahead.
Your assignment, unit.
What?
12 units. When you're done with your assignment, please come back to 1008 Stafford.
Why? What'd they find? What'd they find there? Oh, that's their house?
That's where they was looking at the camera.
Okay,
No.
the camera. Okay.
No, that's their house, yeah.
Go ahead, 68.
That is their house?
Yeah.
Okay.
118 was the neighbor, so 1008 is Katie.
So they want everyone at Katie's house.
Back at the house, yes.
Okay. Everyone, when they're done their assignments, come back to the Proudfoot residence. What?
Yes.
What does that? That's interesting. I feel.
68, command. Go ahead, 68. 1026. 1024, check. Nothing on the cameras.
Nothing on the cameras.
16, command.
16.
Happy Hollow and Hogan's Branch. Check. No contact.
Correct.
Dive operations have started at Willow Bend Drive.
All right. They got multiple different people out searching. The span, well, again, I guess she doesn't know if she went to bed at midnight. We got, technically, she went in there at 6, so we have from midnight, allegedly, to 6 a.m. So we got a whole 6 hours where Sebastian could have been halfway around the world, I guess. So I was about to say there's many of them. They're getting a good span radius search. But now
Has it ever been said if he's afraid of the dark?
I don't know if he has been, but you know what? I bet he was, just because.
I bet he was too.
You know, trauma. Yeah, because I mean, I'm 40 and I'm afraid of the dark.
Me too.
Ain't nobody like what's in the dark.
St. John's office is still all the way along, and the dumpsters and both toothbrushes have been cleared also. So we can hear.
10-4. Are you going back to Stafford Court?
Still on search, but general area.
1026. Kelly Wayne, no contact. 1028, make contact, nothing on their cameras. And 1030, contact, nothing on their cameras, and nothing in the treehouse behind the house.
Treehouse behind the house. If I'm 15 and I'm running away, I'm going to the fucking treehouse.
Me
That's
too.
where you're going to catch me. And I'm having shoes in a book bag and some snacks. And I'm bringing my Nintendo Switch.
Especially my shoes.
Yeah.
I don't see him going out.
Yeah, and probably my fucking cell phone.
He probably would have took his cell phone and called his daddy.
That's why I don't feel like he had free range with the cell phone. I don't think he was allowed to just have a cell phone to pick up and call dad whenever he wanted.
Because they didn't want dad.
Exactly. They wanted to hide shit. So,
because they didn't know what he would say to dad.
Yeah, I would love to hear something from Seth. If I just would like to know how he feels. What was the how did he feel like was he allowed his phone at any point? You know what I mean? I do want to know that, because I think that it shows me just how much control stepdaddy has, which we already know he has a whole lot, right? But a phone and communication to the parent you're clearly hiding a lot of shit from, that is a whole nother way of all types of abuse, and I don't like it. A kid in a broken home should be allowed open contact, should they want it, with the other parent. There should be no question.
Parental alienation going on.
No parental exactly, yes. Parental alienation I can't get behind, because like a child doesn't get to choose what the adults have already done. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get to choose the situation he was in, and so he should have been allowed to have a open line to his father, any of the family members he wanted, but especially his dad. They keep going on here, we're his parents. No, Chris, you're not his parent. Seth is his father, not you. And that every time Chris does that, I can tell he is trying to I don't know, it's like a pissing contest going on, kind of, but
he's trying to gaslight everybody.
Gaslight everyone, and it is an attack on Seth. That is a way to poke the bear. You know what I mean? So fuck
like ha-has in his life, and you wouldn't, or some bullshit, or
because now this would be different if Seth was just not a good father and he wasn't there, and his son wasn't about to go live with him, and his son didn't love him, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is different. Like me and my mom, that's different. Fuck that bitch. I'm glad she's dead. But this is different. Sebastian loved his dad. He was about to live with his dad, if I'm not mistaken. And would he run away before moving in with his dad? Because from what I'm hearing from both sides, no. He was way more... Chris is the one whooping him with a belt, allegedly with his pants up. But do we believe that? No. I ain't believing he whooped this kid with a belt with his pants up when he for no reason said his pants were up. Fuck you, ain't nobody. I didn't even think about that till he said that, to be honest. I didn't
he was
think
too detailed about how he whooped him.
Too detailed, and it was only the one time ever. Okay, but you got him and fucked up by saying one time, because you said like 3 years ago, but then in another interview it was like just a couple months ago. So which is it? And if it only happened one time, no way that dude in all of these
and he's only
years,
been married 5 times. I mean,
yeah, there ain't no way he only spanked Sebastian one time with pants up. No, he wanted to embarrass Sebastian. I totally believe it. I can't prove it. This is just my thoughts and opinion, because he made it so much of a point that it was just weird. It didn't belong in the conversation. So I do believe it happened 100 to 1,000 times, and I believe that that poor boy's pants was pulled down with this man whooping him to fucking embarrass him, because that's all this guy can do. They straight up said they didn't like taking too many pictures with him because he looked funny. His mother said that. I heard it.
Yep.
That's fucked up to me. Are you kidding? And Chris made fun of the way Sebastian dances. Why? So yeah, bet your ass I believe he pulled his pants down and whooped him. Just for the Benny said it earlier, embarrassment. I'm looking for a different word, but not intimidate, but just
humiliate.
Yes, humiliate him. Even though he's 15 and he's on the spectrum and he doesn't even fucking know what humiliate probably means. Let's be real. But that's what he was doing, because that goes along with the goddamn corporal, how do they say? Corporal punishment. You are a stepfather, sir. You have no business pulling down a minor child that doesn't belong to you. Even a minor child that belongs to you is fucking questionable why you're pulling their pants down at that age. Get out of here. And forcing him to wear a fucking pull-up all the time, from what I hear.
Yeah.
This is control. And I just heard recently, too, something about a new bed being in the garage. Something.
Yep.
So that's weird. Like, I already knew and assumed that he was having incontinence issues, and I feel like, and I've seen it in other things where parents get so mad at their child for having that issue that they do terrible things because they fucking snap and can't handle it. And I'm sorry, but Chris is that through and through. And I think Katie has a very short fuse as well. Yes,
That
I
Harmony
do.
Montgomery lost her life for wetting on herself.
There you go. Yep. It is
You know, her
really
daddy
fucked
beat
up.
the hell out of her because she wet herself.
Oh, it's just so fucked up. Let's not be a parent and potty train or ask the real questions then. Well, we actually know with that case, why are they wetting themselves if they shouldn't be? 9 times out of 10, that does have a history of sexual abuse. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
Houses. 68 command. All houses on Kellen Lane have been checked.
10-4 direct. All houses on Kellen Lane have been checked.
Davenport has been checked as well.
10-4.
Roger that. I'm gonna have to re-listen to that again and again and again because that's okay. So the big pickup for me is they have a history at that address,
Mm-hmm.
and that there's nothing on any, including the neighbor's cameras. So that boy got driven out of that garage somewhere.
Yep. That's exactly what I think.
Chris Proudfoot, even after 3 hours and 15 minutes tonight, is still my number one suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Katie is number
And
two.
Katie's guilty. They're both guilty.
Katie, yo, Bish, you drove that boy out of there. You, Letitia, what a fucking name. It's like my mom, Luicha. You drove your son out of there. There's no way around it. You drove Sebastian out of that garage to someone. Or you found him in that river and picked him up and still drove him somewhere. No, because he would be on the cameras. Nope. I'm right back at it. Katie Proudfoot drove her son away from the residence. That's the only fucking thing that's logical right now. That's the only thing that's logical right now. She lost her shit because he pissed the bed. That's why they got the bed in the garage. And she had to quick call Chris. Chris has to help her
Or
cover
maybe he called Katie. Sebastian seen Katie with the neighbor guy that she was allegedly having an affair with.
Oh, yeah. Okay, round 2 tomorrow, and we're gonna do a fundraiser through YouTube. I'm gonna I might do the same organization we did last because they were one of the first to open their doors and make housing and stuff available to men who are leaving domestic violence situations. So again, that is not talked about enough because men get with crazy girls too. There's bad men and there's bad women, and men get abused too. They have to escape hard situations. They don't want to leave their kids. They don't want to have broken families, just like how women think. Men go through it too. So
they do. People want to laugh at men and stuff and put them down and drag them when they go through it.
Yeah, that's not right. Men don't talk about it. No. And men, like, they don't think that they can win in the court system, and nobody has the money to fight the court system, and so they don't fight these fucking bitches. And they're getting away with this shit because men they've got just everything against them, to be honest. And a lot of it has to do with the money and trying to fight the system to always lose because everybody's a mothering state. So I don't love that. So we do try to bring awareness to that as well, because it doesn't just happen to women. It doesn't just happen to adults, girls, boys, it's everybody.
Men's mental health matters too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna set up a fundraiser for tomorrow. I'll get with Val and Benny when we wake up tomorrow, and we'll plan something. I'm gonna have to re-listen to that call for sure. So if you guys have
I know,
links,
me too now, because I've listened to it
yeah,
like 1,000 times. And
yeah, I'm gonna see if Mark can do his magic and try and
yeah,
clean some
denoise
of
it
that
and
up.
stuff, get the background. And
Yeah, we'll see what he can do with that. I'll ask him if he'll work on that tomorrow. Yeah, it only makes
I'm going to
sense.
hop down. My computer is dying here.
Love you. Thank you for
Love
joining.
you.
I'll text you
You're
in the
welcome.
morning.
Good night, everybody. All right.
Good night. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining this session. We're gonna do another. I'm not sure. I want to do a members live, so I might do the fundraiser like in the early afternoon, early evening, and then do the members live, at my normal 7 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever. Because I want to go over. I've got a lot of member stuff, but please forgive me, members. But I started at a new job in the last month for the last like 3 weeks, so I've not been great with my channel right now, but I will be because I just had to like focus and learn new things and whatever. But I can YouTube and podcast and shit at work. We got a lot of downtime, so um I'll be doing that. I just had to focus on what matters like the most here in our real life first so that I know what I got to do, and then I can focus on both a little bit better because I already know how to YouTube. Thank you for the super chats, all the new members. I will be with the members. I don't know what time, but I will be with the members tomorrow. And tomorrow, fundraiser, bring awareness. I don't know if any men were abused in this case, but there certainly was a little boy abused in this who is now missing. So thanks for joining. Love y'all. Bye. Benny, also, we love you. Thanks for joining. Bye.